Okay. You can tell me what are the issues that you have seen.
So I'm just going to go through.
Can you go through on this one?
Oh,
I'm recording
yep.
the session.
All right. So here's my stuff. All right. So this is the part that, like, this here is supposed to be the mobile number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make sense to have to duplicate this. So enter this here and enter it here too. So you're not gonna. It wouldn't make sense to do this and down here. You know what I mean?
Can we remove this?
Yes. I don't think. Yeah. Exactly. You don't need it up here. We just need it down here.
Okay. Account number can be removed.
Postpaid line is a line number, right? So this is the registration number when they come in, like I mean, just a reference number. Is there something like that where you take a reference number if it's coming in as a new customer?
What do you mean?
For example, all the postpaid lines, all the features what we have is like, okay, this is for this line number. But as a transaction as a whole, is it something like a reference number that?
Well, that would be like the transaction ID, I guess. But this is the thing is with this.
Okay. He's asking, like, if the customer is an existing customer, he will have band number or a customer phone number, right? Phone number will be associated to the account.
He will have one line, yeah, whatever, however many lines, yeah.
Number.
But we don't want to have to enter that and then enter another mobile. Like, it doesn't make sense.
So, yeah, not required. Okay.
And the thing is too, like with this transaction ID, I don't know, you can't really make this mandatory, just because there could be no transaction with it. They're adding a feature. There's no transaction. This is from the POS. So doing something in POS would require a transaction number, but if you didn't use POS, you're not going to have a transaction number.
So transaction ID is not mandatory?
Not, right. Because there's times where you're not going to have a transaction number.
Transaction number is not mandatory. What are the cases? Can you give us examples where it is not mandatory?
They're adding a data feature. They're not going to have a transaction number because they're not bringing anything out in POS.
Okay.
I mean, obviously they could be bringing out an accessory, but that's, that'd be only if they bring out an accessory. Then that would have a transaction
just
number.
adding only a data feature, they will do it on QuickView. And
That's it. Yep, they're not going to touch POS. So it's two separate systems. POS is just for inventory stuff. So feature for, adding a data feature, they're not going to be bringing anything out of the inventory. It's just, a feature being added in QuickView.
Do you want us to add a reference for us? Say now we have transaction ID as a unique thing what we use. So now since we are reviewing it, we want for our reference, for the wireless user reference, have a number associated, say DSR001, DSR002. So you want something like that?
Not necessarily.
It's not necessary.
I don't think so. For the customer?
No, it's for us. It's for our internal reference.
Right, for what though? Referencing
Just
back
for us, yeah. Just
of-
for unique. I say for example if I'm doing sales. So I'm not talking about wireless user, I'm doing sales. So it's sales 001, 002. So it will go on.
Oh no, that wouldn't.
From here, right?
Yeah. We wouldn't need that. So, all right, let's see. I did get an error message when I was trying to enter a postpaid. It said product type, data, no base revenue formula.
Okay. Now, the product types and codes, what we have done is we didn't get all of them.
Okay, I just wanted to, just so you know. I was going to say, let's change the phone purchase drop down to just EIP, outright, and no phone purchase.
Okay.
Instead of saying,
the sequence started getting so we updated it when we gave presentation on Monday.
oh, okay.
So that's why he wants EIP to be the first option, or no purchase, and last he wants the outright purchase.
Perfect. I was just going to say we can just shorten it to just, EIP, no purchase, and outright. Instead of saying device with, just so you can shorten stuff
Oh,
down.
okay. You want to short it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be done.
Yep.
Upfront purchase is only in case of postpaid and upgrade, right? Postpaid, upgrade, and prepaid.
Yes, exactly. So, and we can take out the warranty exchange order number.
So warranty exchange number, when does that come into picture?
When they're adding just a data feature and it's jump.
So if jump data feature is added alone after activation.
So if they're doing this, they're adding a data feature and it's jump, and they're entering, whatever, and they're entering a phone number. So let's say they're entering a phone number and they enter the ban and all that stuff. And if the system doesn't see a match to this phone number to an activation or an upgrade done in the system within 14 days, if there's no match to that,
Okay, jump added alone as data feature.
this is just a back end rule.
Okay.
So there's two different parts of this. So if there is a match and it's outside of 14 days, they're going to need to enter in this warranty exchange order number. If there is no match, they're just going to have to enter in the EIP number. So I don't know if we do like a yes no for this warranty exchange, like warranty exchange yes or no. If it's yes,
okay, now
then we'll enter this.
Match, you will ask for EIP number. Match in 14 days. Phone number match.
If there's a match within 14 days, we don't need the EIP contract number because we'll have it already entered in the DSR. That can automatically populate. Because let's say you do an activation and you add jump, you're going to have the EIP contract number already in there.
Okay.
But if it's a match and it's outside of 14 days, then you're going to get the warranty exchange order number, yes or no. Is it a warranty exchange? And then they would enter in the warranty exchange order number.
We don't need warranty exchange order in the postpaid section.
No. Nope. It's only when they're adding a
14 days. So match and out of 14 days you want warranty exchange to be yes.
Well, they're going to select yes or no. And they can also automatically populate the EIP. Like if there's a match in the system, you can automatically they won't have to re-enter this because you already have that entered in. If there is no match, they're going to need to enter in basically the EIP contract number and then, have the yes or no box again for warranty exchange. So it should be like a yes, no. If it's a yes, then they'll enter in warranty exchange order number. No, they won't enter in anything, but they'll have, if there's no match, they'll have to enter this in regardless, the EIP number.
Phone number no match. EIP is mandatory.
Yes, but it'll populate if there is a match because we'll already have that in the system.
Phone number match in past 14 days, we should auto-populate EIP from previous record.
Yep.
Phone number match out of 14 days.
Yep.
Populate EIP number.
Yep.
From previous record.
Yep.
And warranty.
And have it yes say right, exactly. Yes, no. If it's yes, they're going to enter in the warranty exchange number.
What is the significance of taking the warranty exchange number?
It just is an extra step to make sure people aren't entering it fraudulently into the system.
Okay. So, can we have that warranty exchange order number if it is a match and out of 14 days? Can we have warranty exchange order number as a mandatory field?
Yes, it should be a mandatory field.
Okay. So then we need not have it as a yes or no.
Well, I want to have it a yes or no still because there could be times where it's not a warranty exchange and it's outside of 14 days. And that's fine.
That is fine?
As long as it's a match from one of our things.
No. What you say, business rule 1, phone number match in past 14 days.
Right.
Will populate the EIP number automatically from previous record and it will allow. If it is a match out of 14 days,
They can also exchange. The problem is they can exchange their phone within 30 days,
okay,
and it's not a warranty exchange.
okay.
So that's the hard thing.
Network same upgrade they do.
No. This is just for when they're adding Jump as a standalone feature. Yeah.
Yeah, jump added alone as data feature after activation.
Yep. And after upgrade. So any jumps that are being added with an upgrade, that's you just have to be entering the,
As a separate line.
yeah.
So if let's this is the question we had yesterday. Let's say I'm going for an upgrade, and I already have jump on my existing account.
Right.
What will be my scenario?
So you're going to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was also going to say, for upgrades,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to have this, that's kind of redundant. If they're selecting upgrade, this should just automatically populate as upgrade. So they don't have to do another step, So like, let's say they choose this. They don't need credit class in here for upgrade.
Right.
We can take that out, and we can take this out, the mobile number port, and the port company, all that can be taken out. Temporary number.
Do you want the credit class in the upgrade section?
Nope.
But we are assembling indirectly the postpaid section, right?
Only in the postpaid, because that's the only time. The only thing that matters for credit class is for the activations. So postpaid, yeah, that's the only thing that matters.
See, upgrade means they already have an account.
Yep, and it just gets paid out one times the MRC for upgrades, regardless what credit they have or anything like that.
Okay, so question is now if I'm attaching a data feature when I'm doing an upgrade.
Yep.
Now, as per the matrix what we have designed is in the data feature also we have segregation for prime and then after activation. Of course, it will be after activation, but then we also have two sections for revenue formula definition for prime and subprime customers.
We don't need, not for upgrades.
Not for upgrades, right?
So any sort of feature that's added after the point of activation, it's 1 times the MRC.
So that
Flat.
will be a base formula.
Yes. Only something that's added at point of activation has that 3.5 times the MRC, and the phone spiff, like that's the only time is at point of activation. Anything after that is 1 times the MRC. Upgrades, 1 times the MRC, period. Doesn't matter if it's prime or subprime, just flat 1 times the MRC.
Now we have prime or subprime. At activation, after activation.
Yep.
Postpaid. How much this is into 3.5 into MRC, right?
Yep, for prime, it's 3.5.
Subprime, it is
2.
2 into MRC.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't matter for postpaid.
For which one?
For this postpaid line alone. It will come at activation, after activation will be effective only for data features.
Exactly.
So prepaid, even if it is prime or subprime,
There's prepaid is just 1. There's no credit class for prepaid. There's no credit run or anything like
only
that.
1 or 1.25
1.25.
into MRC.
Yep.
Upgrade, it is 1 time.
Yep.
Data features,
That's where it matters if it's at activation or after activation.
but prime or subprime doesn't matter for it.
It matters only for at activation.
Okay, so prime At activation,
Yep.
how it will be?
3.5.
3.5 into MRC for data feature.
Yes.
Subprime at activation.
2 times the MRC. Just like
Same
that.
like
Yep.
Now, prime after activation.
Prime and subprime after activation, 1 times the MRC.
Okay.
The phone spiff is only applicable at activation. So these guys are eligible for phone spiff, these guys are eligible for phone spiff, and then these are eligible for phone spiff. That's it. These, no phone spiff.
Okay.
This, no phone spiff.
Phone spiff only at time of activation.
Yep.
That is 0.5 into MRC.
Yes. And that's only if they select, phone purchased outright or phone purchased EIP.
Okay, either ways you will get 0.5 into MRC.
Yep.
And that is EIP or outright. Okay, anything else related to that revenue calculation
So for data features, these two,
at activation?
yep, at activation, so they get the phone spiff and they get that $15
For jump.
for
PH.
well no $15 revenue spiff for the 3 gig and up data features.
Okay. Now let's say postpaid, prepaid, upgrade, and the calculation for prime and subprime is this.
Right.
Now coming to the data feature, prime at activation 3.5.
Yep.
Now what will come under this when we say data feature?
So the 3 gigabyte and up data only gets a $15 revenue spiff added into the calculation.
That is spiff.
Right, revenue spiff.
Okay, revenue spiff.
That goes into your revenue bucket.
Data feature.
And it's only for prime and subprime. It excludes simple choice, no credit. So you see there's like a flag, like one of those secondary flags. Simple choice, no credits, SCNC. Those are excluded from a lot of things. They're treated as a subprime, but they're like you can't do an upgrade on them, on those customers, for example.
One moment.
And they don't have the revenue spiff.
Revenue spiff. Data feature 3 GB
And up.
and up.
Yep.
It is 3.5 into MRC.
The revenue spiff is $15. Yep.
Flat.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter whether it is prime or subprime.
Right. It's only for prime and subprime.
Okay.
So simple choice, no credit, SCNC. It's paid like a subprime. So it's paid like 2 times the MRC. It's eligible for the phone spiff, but they're not eligible to do upgrades.
Okay.
And they're not eligible for this extra revenue spiff.
Simple choice. Yes.
SCNC. And all those plan codes are flagged in the stock code list I sent you. Simple choice, no credit.
Did you see the revenue formula master?
Yes.
You trying to figure out this formula what you're saying, like not only revenue formula.
Yeah, well that's why I had some questions because like I was confused with like features. Like I didn't see anything where it was like 1 times the MRC for features.
Let's
After- Yeah.
If you are touching that one, it's better like you do it in the revenue formula. No, go to separate master and click. Right click over this. Right click on this. Yeah.
Oh, we can leave it. It's nothing that's.
Try creating a new formula now. Just
Create
Yep.
a new one.
Yep. Just try to enter formula which you set right now for one of the columns.
So like the data feature one, or
Data feature one. Data feature one.
so this would be. right? And this, could I just do like, because it's current, would I do like a future date? I can't type it in.
You just type // and stuff.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, looks like it. Okay. And then just save it.
So this becomes a base formula for the data product type.
So then that would be any data, and that includes all the features, right?
Yeah, all the features.
Or just the data?
Just only the
Just
data.
only the data.
Okay.
Just only the data.
Because that would only, that's only when it showed.
Yeah, you can just define 5 formulas.
So if I go back in, it should be in there.
This you can just filter it from there.
Oh, okay.
So you click on this small drop down, triangle one. And back.
Oh, this up here?
Click on advanced search. Select product type over here. No, over here.
Oh, this one.
Product type. That contains data.
Oh, can I, is it quicker? Can I just like type something in here?
We can enhance it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you have defined for data, you can define it for the jump, PHP category, you can define it for the international thing, and you can keep on defining it, and then you can test it, how it is actually, whether it's taking it or not.
Okay, gotcha. So I have to do one for each subtype?
Yeah, but you said that in the data feature also there are particular set of products which are having annual revenue, right?
Yeah, so like data, for example.
It's only for that particular product type only, right? Or is it like inside that product type there are many SOC codes?
There are certain SOC codes that are only eligible. So like, for example, this simple choice no credit, they're not eligible for that phone spiff. Okay. Or the extra revenue spiff.
The extra revenue spiff.
Yeah.
How does the formula work for that?
So, like for example, you're doing an activation, a postpaid, with 3 gigs of data, right? So the calculation for that data portion would be, like let's say it's a prime customer, it'd be 3.5 times the MRC. It would also be, you know, if they bought a phone, it'd be the 0.5. So let's say they did buy a phone, it'd be 4 times the MRC. Now if that was it was a prime customer, so you'd have that additional $15 in revenue.
Okay.
So
you have to just go into this.
So is there any way to like exclude certain ones? So like
no, just for the exceptional ones, say out of 10 you want to have a specific formula for a specific product.
Well, I don't want to do that because it would be like a million on there. So like I want to be able to exclude something. Yeah. Yeah. So like these simple choice no credit things, those have a secondary flag in that SOC code list. So I want to make sure we can exclude those. Like we need to exclude them from a lot of things. So we need to be able to like flag that group, these simple choice no credit things. So I don't know if we can like flag those separately. So like exclude from something, or because we're gonna have to do that like for our like the 3 gig plus attachment calculation, which is saying, okay, this is our percentage of all these eligible customers that are eligible to get data. This is the percentage of people that got data at point of activation. We need to exclude all the simple choice no credit from that, so they don't help or hurt you from that, for example.
And how many products, if you see, for example, out of 10, how many products you expect which are not falling inside the regular category will be,
not this.
not this, and
You'd have to look at the SOC code. There's lots and lots and lots. Yeah.
And it will vary on a regular basis, so she should be able to predict them.
Yeah, so we just need a way to exclude, like maybe out if there's like a checkbox, like exclude simple choice no credit, for example. Like if I create the revenue thing for upgrades, there should be a checkbox, maybe exclude simple choice no credit. So if they're trying to do an upgrade and they enter a simple choice no credit SOC code, they shouldn't be able to. It should give them an error, simple choice no credit is not eligible for upgrade. That kind of thing.
Okay, tell me this, Lindsay. Now we have product type, product code. Now let's say we give you an option to group them by whatever heading you want. Let's say you want a set of product codes to fall under some category where they don't have or they have a separate calculation.
Right.
What he needs to see is
So you
adding a
want to have it
subcategory
as
type, adding a mid a subcategory type where okay these products you can just and you can remove it anytime.
Like in the revenue, you mean?
Yeah, for just for the revenue calculations.
Well, I guess it depends. Like, what can you give me an example of what?
now we are saying a CNC as let's say 10 product codes, 10 samples.
Right.
And let's say um, post-paid you have 200 SAR codes, out of which 5 SAR codes are not eligible. Are there any situations like this?
Where this wouldn't be eligible for.
Maybe they have a separate calculation.
Well, see, this is how it works. So, like simple choice, no credit, they're paid like a subprime. So I don't know if we can create something that's for just simple choice. I don't want to do anything where I have to select a million SAC codes because they change all the time and they keep adding.
That is what
Yeah, so
what
like
I understand is instead of you, let's say you are doing the formula for one each individual type. Instead of that, you will say, okay, these types will have this formula
like,
applicable.
yeah,
One formula instead
Yeah.
of 4 different formulas.
yeah, exactly. Because I don't want to do anything by SAC code. That would be really hard to manage. You know what I mean?
I want you to group the SAR codes. Instead
Yeah,
of
that's why
doing
I already so I already have them grouped like that list that I sent you of all the SAC codes. There's like subcategories in there. So like simple choice no credit, that's flagged separately in there. We still want to. The hard thing is a lot of this stuff still counted as a postpaid, for example, a simple choice no credit. Well, like when you're looking at like where how it gets paid and stuff like that, it should have the flow as a postpaid, but it just needs to go into a different category.
Now this is a spreadsheet.
Let's see.
So those
See?
SCNC,
Yeah.
you want them to be grouped.
Yes. So anything that has that simple choice no credit. Like these are going to be entered in like a postpaid, but we need to, flag these separately. So anything with a simple choice no credit needs to be flagged as a simple choice no credit.
When you're flagging it, like now I can see only 6 error. It can be.
There's more than that. This is just, this is just the postpaid ones, like the 1 and 2. There's also add-lines. There's also features.
So it can be like out of 1,000, there can be each of 100 records needs to be achieved.
Yeah. So whenever if we can just flag those as simple choice no credit.
That's it, right?
Looks like I don't have the features flagged. Should have the features flagged. See that? I have to make sure the features are flagged. It's like, for example, this is one. I can do. See, I just don't know where you would want me to flag this in here. So this one is simple choice no credit too.
Okay. Okay.
So we can.
Tell me this. Data features have PHP or jump,
Yep.
which comes under insurance.
Right.
International. Data. Messaging.
Which messaging we can bundle messaging because all the plans include messaging at this point. The messaging is going to be very few and far between that we even see.
Okay.
So we can put that, I say we put the messaging in with the other,
Okay.
just so you know, because like,
So now other will contain messaging,
yes,
ringtones, and anything that.
yeah, all the other random things.
Okay. So these will be as a primary in data features
Right,
subcategories.
yep,
Now prepaid you don't have anything like that.
right. It should just be check boxes.
Right.
And because I know I see like in prepaid right now, there's like drop down for SAC codes and stuff, which we don't need. It should just have check
But I'll
boxes.
tell you, we need clarification on that one too. Will be, let's say I'm selecting prepaid. Okay. Talk and text. Now there
So
is one international plan for prepaid.
Exactly, that's what I'm looking for.
Let's take, I'm taking product.
this is all just the data stuff.
What is the product code that we have seen? International talk, right? Yes, international feature. This prepaid international.
Yes.
That goes under prepaid, right?
Right. So there should just be, like I told you, like for prepaid, there should just be check boxes. Because this is made up.
Right.
There,
So
there is no prepaid
this is what
international.
we want to do. Can we keep this into prepaid category?
Yeah. We even change it to prepaid data feature.
Prepaid international tag and tax. International.
Yep.
Right there. Okay. That way, in the product type, when we say prepaid, we will have that international
Right.
populated. Now coming to the, what else we have? Talk and text, mobile data.
So so you see how these plans include the data?
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to have a separate data.
Okay.
It's already included in there.
Okay.
See that? Um, so like, so if you're doing this, we're doing a prepaid. So,
Yeah, we don't.
okay, you don't have one yet?
Yeah.
So they should just have these. So like, basically, here I added these. You're not going to have a SAC code. If there's only one.
Okay. For PHP, we don't have anything specific, right?
Right. You're not. It's just going to be like something fake in the background.
Okay. Tell me this now. If I'm checking this, am I going to get extra revenue generated?
Yes. Yep.
Now, if you see this,
There should be a prepaid tether feature.
so let's say maybe it is in other.
Probably another.
Yeah. So what we want is this product type categorization and the SOC codes coming under each category should be well defined.
Yeah.
So we'll import the same, and when we select prepaid here, you'll
You'll
be
have the
able
features,
to see
yeah.
everything. Prepaid international feature, even this any PHP for prepaid
Right.
will be shown in this drop down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be the only things that they would have, are
Yeah.
these three. So this could go, this could go, this could go. this could go, this could go, this could go, all of that.
When you see international feature, that means the product which he pointed out, which is not in the database and put it in the key.
Right.
Means you have only one
Yeah.
international feature.
Yep.
Just like
There's just one option. Yeah.
just one option.
Yep.
Even for Tether, we have only one prepaid option.
Yep.
For PHP, one option.
Yeah. That's why it's just going to be a checkbox. There's nothing to, no stock code to select.
Sure, right? Say it's $10 international talking text.
Yep. Yep.
You won't have 20, 30 stuff like
Nope.
that in the future.
Nope. And that's why, so like data's built in. So like you would see, you know, on the other sheet, like,
See, now we have only one prepaid international feature, that is prepaid int for
Okay.
$10 international talking.
Right.
yep.
In the future, is there any chance where $10 it can move? Okay, we have $10 international plan. We also have $50 international plan. So
If that's the case, then we would have two. But right now, it's just one. Prepaid's limited, you know.
Tell me this, let's say, okay, now we will give the option of checkboxes, but when he checks the box, the information will be auto-populated.
Exactly. So it'd create a
grayed
line
out.
item.
So let's say tomorrow going forward, if we have more than two, he'll check and he will have an option to pick from one or two.
so it has to be only visible.
Yeah.
Even if it's
At
Yeah.
that point. As of right now, we don't need the drop down.
because it's one.
It's one.
Because and why we pressing on that is if it increases, then users should be given that option to select. So we can't hide the columns dynamically. It's like if we have two products for that international feature going forward, maybe after 1 year, 2 years or whatever, we don't have the ability we can hide the columns on the fly because there can be two features and at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fixed. So that's why we say we can have that as a toggle, but it will be the user doesn't have to enter it at all.
Okay.
User doesn't have to enter it at all.
So it would auto populate.
It will auto populate.
Okay.
We know that the sock code, we don't have a sock code for some prepaid
I wouldn't want it to show the SAC code anyways, which for prepaid, just because it's a fake SAC, it's just a placeholder. So it should show the description, and that's it.
And if going forward, if they are doing national features at that time, we should give them that option.
Right. I mean, there's,
Okay.
T-Mobile can do what, we don't know what
Let-
T-Mobile will
let-
do in the future.
Now, all these prepaid data features, the plans.
Yes. Those
These
can
plans-
change.
These plans are created by you, right?
Yes.
The SAC code?
Yep. Because they're all fake. We don't have SAC codes for prepaid.
Okay.
So that way, like in that drop down, we would want to show the description, not this,
Mm.
because this is all just created by us.
It depends on the mobile because if, the POC also it will change. As if we now we are guessing that it will change. So automatically in the POC also tomorrow if they have two international features, they will also give that option in the POC.
Yeah. In QuickView when they're
Now we
activating.
also have only one checkbox, just like how we are.
Yeah, right now they basically go through when they're activating, they would select yes or no. Like it's not like 3 different options for Tether. It's just one.
Then we
Yeah.
keep it only 3 boxes and we'll remove everything.
Okay.
Okay, this one you need to, Dheeraj, make a note. Prepaid SAC codes, you cannot display the SAC codes in the SAC code column. It should be only the description for prepaids.
Only the description.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
International Tether and PHP. Can you please make sure that you update this column?
Yeah. Do you want to
Okay.
send me this file? I'll make sure that that's updated, and I'll send you this back so you're using your same file.
SAC code description to be displayed. So these 3 are the only data features they have.
Right now, yeah.
Okay. Now, going for postpaid. Postpaid, all the SAC codes, let's say you have 300 SAC codes. out of the 300 SAR codes, how many come under this SCNC?
However many, I don't know, whatever it showed up here.
So
And this could have changed since.
yeah.
Oh, I think it says, yeah. Mhm. There's some new ones since I created this, I think.
Okay.
But as of right now, these are the.
So now, if you see here, product type is postpaid.
Yep.
The transaction type is postpaid.
Right.
Add a line or postpaid 1 and 2.
Yep.
So we will have one more option, the product type SCNC. Is that what you want?
In the back end, like not for them to type in.
Mm-hmm.
In the back end, if they enter this, it
Mhm.
knows that this is a simple choice, no credit.
Okay.
So that's why we need to flag it separately like this.
That should be product code type should be grouped.
Right.
Say for example, if we give you the option in the revenue formula, okay, this will be the constant base formula for the product type data, but exclude these sockers from it.
We need to exclude it as a whole. I don't want to exclude.
As
Yeah.
a set, as a subset.
Yes. As simple choice, no credit. Yeah, exactly.
So then we have to have a subcategory in between data and the subcategory for simple choice answer. So
Right.
only then it will be simple.
Yeah. So I'll create one. Yeah. So basically we have data, prime, data, subprime, data, simple choice, no credit. Is that what you mean?
You can configure it, but a base formula for the main category and a base formula for the subcategory. So you have to define only two formulas. That's it. You don't have to depend upon the sock codes also.
Okay. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Yeah. We just need some way to, because they're treated differently.
So
Prime and
right
subprime.
now you have only simple choice, no credit, or any other categories in the postpaid or subcategories.
This is that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. So prime, subprime, and simple choice, no credit.
So this is now postpaid is the transaction type, and you have the product type as postpaid 1 and 2. This question is for you, Dheeraj. Add a line postpaid 1 and 2 B2B, and so you are not going to do any differentiation in product type. It should be a subcategory for product type, and then that is where you have to give an option for grouping.
And we have to figure out the way. And before that, what I'm thinking is, in order to have an effective testing for what she's doing, let's get all the sockets, everything in,
Yeah.
with all the proper enhancements. Manage them, and that time it will be more.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
We'll do one thing, we will import this one right away. We can do that. Actually, once we identify, once she updates the sheet, we'll export what we have and get the CSV, or drop all the table and we'll just import this one.
Because then it will be easy for her also.
So transaction type, product type, postpaid 1 with 2.
Okay. If you see the highlighted ones, MBB, simple choice NC, simple choice NC excludes from 3GP plus attachment and MBB fit again. So that will come inside product type postpaid only, right?
Right.
Because for add line you have written a different product code type, that is simple choice NC.
Right.
Is there any in the restricted word that simple choice NC will also come under product type postpaid?
These are all on. So there's Adeline, simple choice, no credit.
So there is differentiation in the product code type also. That if you are specifying simple choice NC for add line, it will be a different name, but for the postpaid, it will be a different product code type.
They're still the calculation's still the same for each.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Make it configurable. But
Okay.
The name will be different, right?
The stock code, you
No,
mean?
the product code type. I'm just talking about product code type. You see,
So these right here, yeah. So there is, I mean, there's an add line and then there's a postpaid.
yeah. For Adeline, the product code type is different. Simple Java.
Yeah. Yep.
Though we know the formula is same, but the name is different.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now postpaid.
You said is there phone spiff which is fixed?
Yeah. 0.5 into MRC.
Yeah, when it's not it's not excluded from MRC, right? If this 0.5 is fixed, when then multiplied with MRC, not like added revenue. For example, where the $15 fixed,
No, the phone spiff is a multiplier.
multiplier, right?
Yep.
Now, adding to the formulas, there is one more thing. As you mentioned, revenue spiff.
Yes.
You got the revenue spiff
We
here?
have revenue shift, which is a multiplier. We have phone spiff, which is a multiplier. And then we
Okay.
have added
The revenue spiff is not a multiplier all the time.
not a multiplier.
Right. In data feature, if it is 3 GB and up, it is $15. Only for prime
But I
or
think
subprime.
we can adjust that, right?
Just that.
Because I think you
So
can.
you will keep that one in the added revenue.
I think you can do that, right? You can.
Yeah,
You can.
but you are using a separate field. You are not using revenue spiff field.
Yeah, good. Last one.
What do I do?
Let's click.
Can I click?
Just click on that.
Okay. Hi.
Right? I don't know. Is that a trick question?
No, Don, we are not leaving after 2 o'clock. So,
Oh my God, I love it.
He's talking about that added revenue.
Yeah. So I could do this. So like, let's say this is, at activation, we could do $15, right?
Keep the other two fields as 0.
Well, could I do, like this would be 3.5, this would be phone spiff 0.5, and then this would be $15, right?
Cases where the revenue calculation formula is not a multiplier, keep revenue calculation multiplier MRC as 0, phone spiff as 0.
So I'd have to do the added revenue as a separate.
No. What I'm saying is still on it. Click on it. And as I said, for some data features, the revenue calculation formula is fixed. It's not a multiplier.
Right. So I'd put that down here, right?
Yeah, and keep the other two as 0.
So I couldn't put it all in one.
No, it's
Like-
just a twist. I mean,
Like this is like, let's say we're doing this one at time of activation, which would be, like let's say, and we would have to choose prime, right? And then this would be 3.5. Phone spiff would be 0.5, and then this would be 15. We could do it like that. Not at,
what would be the revenue in that case?
what do you mean?
What would be the revenue?
Well, it would be just based on the MRC. No, it would be this plus the $15.
okay, save
Okay.
that one.
Now, the only thing I want to make sure, like, so in
This is the exception if you want to have it a formula for only based on specific product, only then you have to select it. And we saw it.
okay, so this would be like, boom, prime at time of activation. There's all the calculations. We could save that. Okay, cool.
I mean, what Vijay was saying is some data features, say for example, 1 of 1,000, where there's no revenue calculation for multiplier by MRC, they're just like jump.
Yeah, we do have those. We do have those. So we have one that, now the question is,
You said revenue spiff. Where this revenue spiff is added? Is this added for postpaid?
this is for postpaid data
Prepaid?
features. This is only for data features. So like prime, subprime, data features.
So this revenue spiff is only for postpaid data features.
Right, added at point of activation
Postpaid data feature added at point of activation.
for prime and subprime. It's excluded from simple choice no credit. We-
Excluded?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Simple choice no credit. There's some weird
Only
things.
for prime and excluded from SCNC. Okay. So in this case, how are you going to get the formula?
Can you repeat step by step?
Postpaid 3.5 MRC.
You go inside a third record.
So what? I mean, it would be for this though. This is what it would be for. This one. So this would be the calculation.
3.5. Phone spiff is 0.5.
Mm-hmm.
Revenue is $15.
Right.
Let's say I have jump also on it.
This is only for data.
Data.
Data features.
The jump should differently from
Jump would be just be the $20.
Let's just go to the back. Just come down.
Is there a jump one?
You will find the jump. You see jump?
So like this one.
Just go inside of it.
So this one is just $20. Yep.
Now you understand why we have kept 0, 0? Because we know
Yeah. There's no multiplier. Yeah. Exactly.
that's what we
That's
have
perfect. Now we do have a couple. So we do have a couple of these. Well, that should work, I think. So we have a couple of these T-Mobile features right now that are data. They have 0 MRC in the system, so the feature has 0 MRC, which this would work. So like the formula would work with it.
Still on create.
Well, we wouldn't have to. So this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. Like, so these ones, they're these special features, but they're going to fall into this. Like we could still use this. So like, let's say they did a prime activation. The MRC is 0. So the formula, if it goes 3.5 times 0, is 0. And all they get is the revenue
Now
spiff.
that you are on
So
the
that would work.
screen,
That's a good one.
Okay.
my
Yeah.
point is, we are not addressing this one. Added revenue, you are taking revenue spiff. Phone spiff you have.
Yep.
Postpaid you have 3.5 MRC.
Right.
So in added revenue, when I'm adding $15, I'm adding data feature.
That's what it's for.
Right. So for jump, where am I going?
So you're taking a postpaid line,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that will have revenue recognition formula as 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
That will have phone spiff as 0.5.
Yep.
Right? So one formula will be for that.
Yes.
For postpaid.
Right. So the first line, that's that one.
Now, if you add some jump,
Jump.
we have this formula, what we saw.
Right. $20.
Individually, you're going to take that.
Yeah, so with postpaid line, you will only see 3.5 into MRC plus 0.5 into MRC. But in the next line, what we have decided that data feature will be automatically added in the next line. In that case, the revenue will be only $15.
So $20 for the jump. Then the next line for the data would be that.
Only $15.
Okay, Richie, for the display purpose, when I have postpaid line, now we are not gonna enter jump separately. We are gonna just check the box. So when we enter, say for example, go to that DSR form again. Come down to select transaction type as postpaid. Just come down. Now you have the option you enter the postpaid, EIP, stuff like that, and
Right.
enter a jump. Okay, so we have a revenue generated formula over here.
Yeah.
So it should be 3.5 multiplied by MRC plus 0.5 multiplied by MRC plus the jump revenue
Right.
for display.
Yeah. Plus, if they selected, data, then it would have all the data.
Okay, so
Revenue too.
the revenue should be
Yeah. Everything. Yeah. That would be awesome.
back in my teachings. Because we no, that's technique.
This is cool. That is cool. And then I'll change this, because we want messaging to show up in the other.
Right.
Okay, what are the options you don't need in this one?
For postpaid,
We have jump, we have international feature. We can do that, yeah. International feature.
so this can go.
Yeah, we have already.
Okay. Jump, international. data. We can take out messaging. We're going to put messaging into the other category. Just because messaging is like very, very few.
Warranty exchange order number, we are just going to remove that one for postpaid completely. Okay, it will be shown only if it is a batch out of 14 days with warranty order, yes or no. If yes, then you will have the record number.
So complicated. And the big thing that we're having issues with, I don't know how this is, why the duplicate thing, like either there's, so in the current DSR, it's either like the system does it, the system just will like duplicate, like you enter one line in and it duplicates it 3 times, or duplicate, or duplicates or triplicates or whatever. And
it will be based on because of these checkboxes and the features that they are adding.
yeah. Whatever and causing that. But then there's also issues where people are literally entering duplicates in there and the system's letting them. So I just want to make sure that we have a good, clear, like, if someone tries to enter in a postpaid and an add a line with the same mobile number, that the system will say, no, this is a duplicate. Because a lot of times they're either just not even thinking and just entering the same mobile number. They did do 2 activations, but in some cases people are trying to get paid for 2, even though it's just 1.
So in postpaid section, they are entering 2 types. One is the product type as postpaid and has a product type as but for the same number.
Same number. Or sometimes it's 2 postpaids, or it's just like anything that falls in that activation category. So like postpaid 1 and 2, add a line, B2B, mobile internet. Those should all be, yeah.
Is it the phone number?
Do the phone number, yeah. Do the phone number. Do the phone number alone, because sometimes people are doing, it should be 2 activations. They're mistakenly entering, the same mobile number, different IMEI for, the 2 lines, but the system's taking it because it says, oh, it's not a duplicate because, the SIM and IMEI are different, but it has the same mobile number. So we need to make sure that there's a check for the mobile number part, and
then move to SIM.
Yeah, exactly. So it needs to be like separate checks, because like sometimes people are just trying to get around the whole entering the right IMEI. So they're using the same IMEI for like every transaction they do. So it needs a check too, so it'd be like, this IMEI has already been entered in for an upgrade. Like, why are you entering it in for another upgrade? So like these duplicate checks, like, because people are trying to work the system, you know what I mean? So like, so we just need a way to check duplicates for certain parts.
I have a number already in the system. So next time I'm entering the number, it should show the previous record. You say previous record exists with the same number.
Yeah, yeah. Or what entry is already in the system for this mobile number.
Same transaction also they do the duplicates entry. Even in the same transaction, it's not like in the other transaction they are entering it again. Same transaction also they enter the mobile number, and the system is not doing the check.
Right. Like, so like, let's say they're doing this, they're doing 2 postpaids, right? So let me.
There are a lot of information here. You're not allowed to add an item before you complete.
Right. So like, let's say they're doing this twice though, right? They're entering. Yeah, same. Right. Or they're just entering the same. And the system's like, because in the current DSR, let me just show you. So like, so here, like you can do 5 lines at the same time. So someone could do this, lines 1 and 2, and the add a line, all in the same chunk, and let's say they did another postpaid, and they entered the same mobile number, same information for both of these, the system lets them do it because it's doing it all on the same entry screen. For some reason, it can't, I don't know why they can't
That's why I've kept a
restrict
section
it.
for postpaid. Like if you want anything, it should be different number.
Yeah. So there's that's an issue. So like basically we need to check within all the different activation types. So like postpaid, add a line, B2B should all be like considered an activation. So like if there's already an entry in the system with that same mobile number, it needs to be like this entry already exists with the same mobile number. Like so the error message needs to be like specific based on the duplicate, how it's being entered.
Okay, how about let's say they're entering a number and it shows now if the transaction type is postpaid and entering a number,
Yes.
it will say if there is a record with this phone number, irrespective of the transaction type.
If it falls, if the entry previously was done under that product type, then we should give them a flag.
No. Now let's say postpaid transaction you are doing. And product type, we have three types: add a line, postpaid 1 and 2, B2B. Now first time they will do with postpaid 1 and 2, second time they will use the same number and do it add a line. Then it should not be allowed.
Exactly.
Then we can
So
do
you
it.
have to take the transactional type.
Then we have to move up the category first and then move up to the transaction type. Within the transaction type you have system because under the postpaid transaction type we have add line B2B on postpaid 1 and 2.
Right. So if you are doing at the transaction type level, you are saying postpaid will have postpaid 1 and 2, add a line B2B. So number once in that transaction type, it will not allow. If you are going in data feature, you will have insurance, international, all these features. So if it is already there in one of the subcategory, it will say, okay, this category is already there. Whatever category is not recorded, that category only they will be able to take it.
So within the
So
same
we have to
transaction,
keep the field category and subcategory validation.
okay, within the transaction it will be simple. But for outside the transaction, maybe if it was done 10 days back,
That's what we need to check. It needs to be within 60 days.
Now the point is, okay, if it is in our system, they will see it. Why
Yes.
don't they go to a different store and do it?
And try to enter, and someone enters it.
of course T-Mobile in the POS won't allow it.
What?
Well, that's something different. I mean, we can only mitigate what's happening here.
Right? I don't think so. In the POS they will allow it.
No. POS will not allow it. So, but still, the people at our store, they are doing dual entry. We are trying to stop the fraud by the data entry.
Since 200 stores are
Yeah.
configured within a single system itself, irrespective of whether it is a store or that store, it will only check based on transaction, whether the previous transaction was done or not. It will check the previous transactions, all the transactions in the same system because we are
Even if it's done by a different person. Because, yeah.
because
Yeah.
we are a single system for 200 stores. So
Yeah, because it needs to check, because sometimes we'll have issues where someone enters something in the DSR, and then another rep at another store tries to enter the same thing, and the system lets them.
it's done. No, the system is live. So when we go live with DSR, that means if in our system it will be okay from October 1st, October 15th we will be starting entering the postpaid. There will be times in the last week they would have done a postpaid line
Yeah.
with the number, and now second time they are coming in our system because we are going in live with our system. So we need to have historical data,
We can import that, right?
but we also need to have a logic to check in the historical.
Yeah, right.
We need to discuss on that.
Okay, cool.
But in the
There's a
same
lot of-
transaction
yeah,
we
there's
do it, but this one we
Okay.
need to discuss on that.
Because we also have to do like IMEI too, because like sometimes people will, there's certain flags that are based on IMEI, like you get a certain spiff, a mobile internet spiff, only if you're doing a mobile internet activation with a mobile internet device, like a tablet. So they have to enter in the right IMEI. So if they are trying to use that same IMEI to get the spiff, they're using the same IMEI like 12 times, the DSR needs to be like, this IMEI is already in use. a different activation. You know, like, so it needs to check for like duplicates for just like not saying, okay, same mobile number, same SIM, same IMEI, but same IMEI for in that activation realm, you know?
As we said, the two-step verification.
Yeah.
Type and activation.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, so features needs to check for same kind of thing. So same stock code, same mobile number, only within the data feature, you know, within 60 days. It's always like a 60-day is like the rule of thumb for duplicates. And then upgrades. So upgrades can only be done the next calendar month from an activation. So if an activation is entered in the system like July 1st, no one can enter another, like an upgrade. So if they did an activation, postpaid 1 and 2, B2B, add a line, they cannot enter an upgrade with that same mobile number unless it's outside the calendar month. So if they do an activation, lines 1 and 2, you know, July 1st, and someone tries to enter an upgrade for that same mobile number, July 22nd, it should give them an error message saying, you know, upgrades are only commissionable once per calendar month. Yeah, exactly. So there's like those kind of, you know, because that's what we're having issues with. Yeah. Because this is like, yep.
What are the business rules of postpaid?
So postpaid lines 1 and 2, add a line B2B, all those, you know, within that postpaid subset, that same mobile number cannot be entered in within 60 days of another entry. This is the thing that we've been struggling with, so like to the point where we had them enter a rule and then they did it wrong, so no one could enter anything. And it was like a crazy mess. Like all the stores are literally not able to enter stuff. Yeah. I can put it in a sheet, or I can just tell you whatever we want to do.
No, we'll go through. Same mobile number cannot be entered within 60 days.
Yep.
Okay. Now what is the second rule?
So the second rule, so for upgrades, and that's it. That's with this IMEI. So IMEI.
Same IMEI cannot be entered.
Right. So just a check on IMEI.
And same SIM number.
And same SIM number too.
So basically.
But those should be separate checks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What next?
That's it. So that's for postpaid.
Okay. That's the only business rule?
Yes. For duplicates.
Okay.
So the next one, we'll do upgrades. Mm-hmm. So upgrades, those are commissionable once per calendar month. So what that means is if there is a postpaid, you know, so postpaid lines 1 and 2, add a line B2B entered in within the same calendar month, the upgrade cannot be entered in the system. So if an activation, a postpaid, you know, 1 and 2 was entered in for July 1st, and someone's trying to enter in an upgrade with that same mobile number, July 22nd, it should
same calendar month.
Same calendar month, not 30 days, but same calendar month.
If an activation is done in the same calendar month.
Yep.
So this will be a postpaid activation.
Right.
The same calendar is not allowed to an upgrade.
Right.
The same
have to be outside the calendar month. We'll just do a check for phone number. What's that? Let's call it mobile number because that's what everyone's. Yeah. Yep. Everyone's familiar with that. So same thing here. Like you can change like new line phone number to just say mobile number. Yeah.
Okay. What next?
data features. So that just needs to, within 60 days, that same mobile number and same SOC code cannot be entered in the DSR. So that's just going to check mobile number and SOC code against previous entries for data features within 60 days.
It's the same, but postpaid and business prepaid for data features, right? It's the same rule, 60 days.
60 days, yep. But it has, we're talking same exact SOC code. So,
Exactly.
right. So that one has to be mobile number and SOC code together. Because you can have multiple data features added, you know.
Same mobile number and SOC.
Right. So it has to be those both match. Cannot be entered in within 60 days. And we can do checks like within this same screen. So if someone's doing two postpaids exactly the same, it would give them an error message, right? And something that's already like, a postpaid that was entered in 3 days ago and someone's trying to enter the same, it can check for both, right? So I think that was the issue with the current DSR is they couldn't do a check if they're entering it all at the same time.
So you want us to have these exceptions and messages so that
Yes.
we are not allowed to save the record.
Right. Exactly. And we can do that, right? So it's like if they're entering that in this entry screen, that it'll check within, so they can't enter like two postpaids with the exact information.
So we have this whole background synced up with the T-Mobile too. Like T-Mobile also has that. Whatever rules what we are defining.
This is just them trying to make more money. This has nothing to do with T-Mobile. T-Mobile, they're not doing
Okay, so in our system we can
duplicates.
do that for free, and we will not because
There's no way that T-Mobile can do that. Yeah, T-Mobile is you can only activate one
The
line.
whole idea is if we are these business rules, if you're getting into our system,
Right.
our point of view, what Dheeraj is asking is, will these business rules obstruct the rep to do data entry, which will maybe T-Mobile system is allowing it, in our system we are not allowing.
No, T-Mobile will never allow you to do the same activation twice.
This one is done by the reps to make extra money,
Yes.
cheating the system.
Yes.
we can go hard right now.
Yeah,
Right.
we have to go.
Yes. Yes. Otherwise, we're paying them for nothing.
No, it will be easy for us actually.
Okay, good. That's good. Yeah, because the biggest thing was like this screen, if they're entering multiple lines that are the same lines, that we can still do the same duplicate check, because that was the issue with the current DSRs. They can't, if in the entry screen, if they're doing duplicates, they, for whatever reason, can't check within that data, so people are able to enter 3 lines that are exactly the same. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Yeah.
What is the next one? Duplicate check rule.
What's that?
What is the next option?
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Upgrades, data features.
Yep. Prepaid,
Mm-hmm.
same kind of thing though. Prepaid can only check within prepaid though.
So prepaid will be the
Separate.
same thing only for prepaid.
Right.
Mobile number, IMEI and SIM.
Yep.
People with the 60 days will it matter, or just like we not have the same plan again and the same number for that particular prepaid.
No, let's say because prepaid I am activating this month starting. Let's say 8/1 I activated it.
Yep.
8/30 9/1 I deactivated.
Yep.
And 9/15 I want to activate. That is possible, right?
It is possible.
So then if we are having this add-on rule,
Well, see, prepaid's the hard thing about prepaid too. We can't reconcile prepaid.
okay.
There's no dispute process. So, we'll hold off on prepaid right now.
So prepaid, maybe we can keep it for 10 days or 15 days.
Let me try to figure out scenarios on this.
Fixed, right? For 1 month we had 30 days we are fixed. that prepaid plan which you have it will be for 30 days.
Let me see, because prepaid's, you know, prepaid's great.
When are we paid?
Yeah.
When will we pay? Let's say I sell a prepaid connection today in the store. When are we being paid from the T-Mobile? When are we getting the payment?
We'll get paid, you know, up the following month.
Following month, right?
Mhm.
Let's say the customer is going canceling the account in 2 weeks. We are not paid for it, right?
Right.
Is there any minimum period that
It's the calendar month.
So
So
calendar
the end of the calendar month, they have to be activated.
Right. So they have to be active.
He said there was a rule, something that the prepaid customer has to stay, only then we'll get the commissions.
No, we get the commission. It's the calendar month. Calendar month.
Calendar month. That is the business rule.
Yeah, there's no chargebacks for prepaid.
No chargeback?
No chargeback for prepaid.
No
1.5
chargeback.
months, you remember something? 1.5 months, there was some, we were discussing.
There's some stuff tied. So that like whole multiplier, the 1.25, there's three different tiers. So there's like 1 times the MRC, 1.25, and I think 1.75. And those are all based on your refill rate, your second refill rate for prepaid customers. So if they stay 1 month and refill us for their second month, that rate goes into like our multiplier. So we're always in the mid tier. That's why we have the 1.25. Otherwise, it would be like 1.75 if we're like in the top tier. But we don't have to try to, you know, there's no way to like calculate. We don't know what the refill rate's going to be. We just don't know. So.
If it's for the second month, then it is eligible.
So how about
No.
this?
Only the first time.
Only the first, yeah, the only, yeah.
Lindsay, how about same mobile number IMEI or SIM cannot be entered in the same month,
Yeah, same calendar month.
in the same calendar?
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, because the hard thing with prepaid, it's like, even if, you know, it's hard for us to, we're just trying to make sure people are entering clean data for prepaid. We can't reconcile prepaid. We can't dispute anything. So this is really just to make sure they're entering
Right.
good
Now,
stuff.
my point is,
This will go because
yeah.
minimum is 30.
Now, no, it's not minimum 30 days. If I'm activating on 29th of the month, 30th is the last day of the month, first I can go and cancel, but still we have to be paid.
Yep,
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, okay, within the same month.
Right?
calendar month,
Within the
not
calendar
30
month.
days, yeah.
Within the same month.
Yeah. Now, my question is, let's say a rep is doing an entry today. We have the cutoff day as the following month 11th.
Yes,
So he can make any edits
yes,
on any of the fields in all the entries here. Am I correct?
yes.
So log on for any of the form. Even if the form is submitted, it should be in edit mode for the rep till 11th of the following month.
11th of the following.
Can you make it so admins can change stuff though?
Admins can change, yeah.
Okay, admins can change everything, right? All right. But for everyone else, yeah, the 11th, lockdown. Can't change anything.
He's saying his, once it is completed, see if I make a transition on 1, and then on 25th he realizes that on 1 I made some mistakes, so he can go and change it,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
No, he realizes, let's say, even customer comes and cancels it. Or customer comes and has an upgrade on it. He will do it as a separate transaction, or if he has to correct anything on the transaction that he already did, he has to do it.
Yep.
So that is what he is doing in the current DSR. Is that what he is doing?
Yeah.
So we are not regarding as a separate transaction. He has basically the lockdown rule will be 11th of the following month.
Because even like, so let's say a customer activates August 1st with no phone. Okay. So you see can you go back to your revenue calculation page? So they activate with their own phone, which means they would not get the phone spiff, right? But they come back, so they activate August 1st, but they decide 2 weeks later that they want to buy a phone. Because it's within the calendar month, basically we would get the phone spiff. So they have to go in. They couldn't enter that in as an upgrade because it's the same calendar month. So they would edit the original transaction to say phone purchase EIP, and it would populate the phone spiff.
So basically, you are giving the edit opportunity so that they can make this change right in the same transaction. But tell me this, let's say they are coming later doing the transaction on the POS when they are buying a phone. So there is a new transaction on the POS.
Right, right.
It has to be entered into the system.
I don't think we really need to worry about that. We don't do anything really with POS numbers.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah. That's not like super,
No, let's say that rep forgets and he does it as a duplicate entry. So when we are having this business rule that check the phone number, he will have that one and he can go and edit that one. So he should be able to see the records that the same phone number or other.
Is there like a search option in here? Like, well, there will be. Okay, so they can like search by mobile. Like if it says, entry already made.
Search option, and you are here in DSL process. This one.
So they can search all their entries. That's awesome.
Any of the fields.
Yeah.
We have a separate menu also where you'll see only postpaid and then have a separate search for prepaid.
Perfect.
Instead of having
Because we do that all the time. Like, well, there's a search DSR field in here that is awesome. Yeah, because that's what that's how it is right now. So we can search by customer name, mobile number. They can just start typing stuff, right? And then it'll pull it up.
Even here, if you go into this advanced search, you will have all the fields that you have here.
Or you can just start typing in right there?
Yes.
Okay.
But to enable it here, they have to do.
Right, that's cool. As long as we can eventually get there, that's awesome.
And they can save it as custom filter. Next time they come, they just click on that filter.
That's awesome.
what we can have is the recent search will be SIM number, IMEI number, and a phone number. We can have it, okay, default search will be SIM number, now just enter the number, that's it.
Yeah.
So it will, when you type,
They have the phone number, they just scan the barcode also. Immediately it will go.
That's great.
So lockdown for data entry validation is 11 for the previous one. Now, Lindsay, I have one question for you. We are doing the PRM crash in the current DSR. I'm talking about the current DSR. When the PRM crash is being done, there is a field called activation, deactivation, reactivation.
Yep.
All the data entry that is done in our system is considered to be
Act.
reactivation.
Yeah, so that's the only step that we're crashing against.
Right. Now, but when we are doing an export from DSR, we are also seeing DX and DX.
I know.
So where are these coming from? So
It's PRM. The PRM that's being
crash.
It's just being uploaded. So we upload the DX and Reacts from T-Mobile from that PRM report just for commission purposes.
So we are uploading only DX and DX?
Yes. We don't upload any acts.
So let's say we are uploading DX and DX.
Right.
There is an act, you are uploading a DX.
Yes.
Is that void? Is that record transaction void till there? How are you going to say that, okay, there are 100 records entered, 10 have DX through PRM crash, so you should have only 90 records that are valid.
Mm-hmm.
So are you doing the validation and voiding those 10 that are a match?
They're basically additional line items. So you're going to see, like, I'll show you what that would look like. So, and it's hard because, we can only upload these DX if they entered the act part correct.
Right.
Some people didn't even enter the activation part. So, like, let's say a customer activated and canceled the same day.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even leave the store with a phone. T-Mobile is still going to generate an activation and a deactivation line for that. And when we upload the DX, we upload DX and reacts, it would come through as a deactivation line. Let's say that rep never even entered it in the system. They shouldn't get hit for a deact. So the system needs to be able to look and say, was there a match for this phone number? And it kind of goes down the line. Is there a match for the phone number? Is there a match for the SIM or the IMEI?
Okay.
And then and that's how it's
I
going to
have
find
two
it.
questions at this point. Okay. Phone number, IMEI,
I think we do
and
phone.
SIM.
Yeah.
These three are what
I
we
don't
are
think
doing.
we don't use SIM right now because the SIM number is bad that we get from T-Mobile, the PRM report. It's like 4 zeros at the end.
Okay. Let's say phone and IMEI.
I think it's phone, then IMEI.
Okay.
If
So
there's no
first
match.
phone should be matched, and then you do IMEI.
If there's no match to the phone, we see if there's any match to the IMEI.
Okay.
And if there's not, then we don't enter it in.
Okay.
The DX doesn't hit. Yeah.
Now let's say you have
And
act and a deact record.
we do need to hit to the phone number needs to be checked to phone number and temporary number. So like it needs to check on both of those spots because some people may enter, the DX may come through as the temporary number.
Temporary number and IMEI number.
Right.
Okay. Now let's say you have a match to an act in the system.
Right.
So a line record will go in as deact.
Yes.
So you are basically creating it as a separate entry, deact.
Yep.
Okay. Now.
I'll show you what this looks like. Let me pull up.
Can you do it on this system so that we can?
Yeah, can you pull up the
This
DSR?
is recording right now.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the DSR. Okay, perfect. So you can see in here, so for this guy, you can see all of his lines are uploaded in here. So he has his acts. Any acts in here are things that he entered in. So you're going to see acts, there's DAX, and there's also going to be, should be non-commissionable transactions, which are, I don't know why there's none in here, but non-commissionable transactions are things that were entered in that were not commissionable, that were junk stuff.
Okay.
So usually most people have these, but so this would be a deact. So you can see this just shows the activation date from the portion that, from the PRM file. It always just shows the activation date. So the deactivation date was sometime in July. So you can see here's all the information. You can see this is the revenue that was charged back is this. So it was a feature. This was the product code. It charges back whatever the revenue that was paid out.
Okay.
That's what gets charged back. So this was like a deact for something that was activated previously. So this was activated in March, deactivated in July.
Okay.
Same
So now,
thing here.
This number, if I do a search, will I be able to see in the X here?
Not in here because this is just July, but
Okay.
so you can search, if you're like, okay, well, or even if you go to his March, so you should be able to go to the same, to his March commissions. Pull that up, see what he was paid. And there you can see where this was originally added. So in March, he entered this in as contract renewal and then 2 features. So one of the features was deactivated because they removed it. It was this one right here. So you can see he was paid $20 in revenue.
So when you upload the file, it creates a line in the current DSR as DX.
Yes. It shouldn't, when you export the DSR, it shouldn't export this stuff because that's not anything we're not reconciling DX, Should just, the only thing we reconcile is the act portion, activation stuff.
So PRM crash is only with DX and REAX, not with the X.
It's only for Axe. PRM crash. We're just looking at Axe.
Right, we are just looking at X, but when we are sending one file from T-Mobile into the system,
Yeah, when we're uploading it for
Yeah,
commission
uploading-
purposes, it's just DX and REAX. The PRM file only, that's the only thing that we upload into the system, because that's what impacts commission wise. That's what impacts the
so now
employees.
when Josh is uploading the PRM crash file,
He doesn't upload anything PRM crash file.
he doesn't.
He does all that stuff manually right now. The only thing that gets uploaded is by me for commission purposes. So I'm just uploading DX and
So
REAX.
what is the PRM crash Josh is doing?
He's doing that because what we're trying to do is get a handle on real-time stuff that people are entering in wrong.
Okay.
That's what that is.
So basically, he's just taking the 2-day lag and pushing the file as soon as it is updated.
Yeah, he's
T-Mobile?
exporting the DSR, taking the PRM file from T-Mobile, and crashing the two together to see what
What are the
stuff's
files?
and like, is this something we can fix right now? And before people get paid on it, and because that's what ends up happening is like,
Okay, so let's say there is an activation that is done in the store 3 days back, and I see it is deactivated through T-Mobile customer service. So I see that one in the PRM report.
right, that would be
And
okay.
Josh will do an update on the file.
There's nothing, because if that happened, there's going to be a deact. We upload the DX, so there's nothing to correct there.
Okay.
The only thing, like, let's see, like this guy has some non-commissionable stuff. So you see how these things are not Axe or DX or Reax? It's non-commissionable.
Okay. So
These-
you get this field in the T-Mobile file, non-commissionable transaction.
We get this. So these are things that, like, after we go, that's why we were trying to do this proactive PRM crash before we get to this point. Because this means this was something done in February that we didn't get paid on,
Okay.
that we're now charging them back for it now in July. So they were paid for it in February, we're charging them back in July. So they basically got a loan for us for that many
Right.
months.
Now my point is, this field, this field has add, deact, react, or non-commissionable items.
Right.
Who is entering, who is defining whether it is a deact? Is it defined by T-Mobile?
Me.
You are
Yes.
doing
T-Mobile.
it by individual record?
So all of these come through, like
Deacts are coming through T-Mobile.
Yep, Reacts.
Not
These,
commissionable.
I'm adding these in manually.
Okay.
So these are all things that we have fought to get paid for, or we researched. It was a fallout line item that we researched and deemed it to be not valid. That's what these are. So these are all, looks like, from T-Mobile. T-Mobile, feature was removed, line canceled. No, this was like an upgrade someone entered in that wasn't really an upgrade. The person never bought a phone. That kind of stuff. So that's what all of these non-commissionable are. I have to manually, pull all these in. Now the whole idea behind this, what Josh is doing, is we correct it same month before it gets to this point. So like if they're entering stuff in for August, we're able to fix it in August before they get paid on it, before we have to try to dispute it and research it and stuff like that. That we're kind of like ahead of the curve.
So how are we doing on that process?
We are not doing very well because we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time in the month. It's like, I would love to get to the point where we're doing that more, or like the system's able to do the crash for us. It takes Josh a couple hours to get this pulled together. So if we can like have it so the system's doing it automatically for us, and then we're able to research it. The problem is we always still have to research.
In the current system, the way we are building this one is, you download the file from T-Mobile FTP,
Yep.
upload it,
Yes.
and it will be saved in a separate table. You'll pick the common fields.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say first crash you are doing based on phone number.
Yep.
So when you join both tables at the phone number common functionality, it will search. All the matching records will be in one line. Now all the fallouts will go into a separate table.
Right, and then you can choose another point to match.
Now the next one will be a temporary number.
Yep.
Next one will be IMEI number.
Yep.
SIM number. So at the end, whatever are the fallouts, that is what you are going to do.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Only for activations. Only the activation thing is compared. As you said.
Right.
We are not worried about it.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So one thing which I asked Vijay also previously, are the commissions within that month paid only based on the activations, right?
No. Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yep. So we can go through that when we start going through the commissions. Because it's kind of both. It's like, it's net, because there's some stuff that's paid on like net revenue, some things are, like include like net as in like previous month DX and stuff coming through, and some stuff is looking only at gross.
What is box when I was going to the PPT?
Like, what does that mean? So like a box is a postpaid, line 1 and 2, an add a line, a B2B, an upgrade, a prepaid. Anytime you're selling a phone, you're doing, so all of those go into being a box. Yep.
We'll come to that.
Yeah, you're like, what? You're selling boxes? What does that mean?
We'll go to that one after post lunch.
Yeah, right.
Now PRM crash. You are Josh, and you are uploading the PRM DX.
I upload right now. The only thing that gets uploaded is the PRM DX and React, which we would like to do it more frequently. Right now, just because of how the current system is, I only do it twice a month. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, it's my husband calling. Hello? Hi. Yes. Yeah. Itemize. Okay. That's good. Do we need to get someone to do an estimate? Like someone come in and do an estimate? Okay. Okay. All right. So I was hoping you were saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's awesome. Okay. Like this coming up weekend or the following weekend? Okay. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. Good. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yep. I already kind of started, but yeah. Yep. Did someone take it? Okay. Okay. I talked to my mom. She is not gonna. She's taking all of August off. She says. So I'm just gonna work from home 2 days next week, and then we'll be here for 4 days. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember. So, my dad sent me a text that said like, "Mom needs home," and I'm like, I talked to him later, and no one even like. well, I'm glad you're able to talk to somebody. That's awesome. No, all you need to do is just talk to someone for like 5 minutes. You know, like, hey, like, this is like us. Yeah, it's good. But, oh, it's nice. I really like that. Yeah. Great. Thanks. All right. Bye. Insurance companies. Hello? No. It's back up.
Okay. What next, Lindsay?
What next do you want to go over? Do you want to take a break? Do you want to keep going?
10. It's up to you. I mean, you want to take a break?
She wants to hear me.
Okay, fine. We'll take a break. We'll be back by 1 o'clock or
Oh yeah, like we can go quick. I'm just
we have
whatever you want to do. You guys are gonna go out and party. Okay. Okay. All right. So we talked about most of these things already, but so for postpaid, like we're removing this account mobile number at the top because it's redundant. Changing the verbiage for the phone purchased to just have EIP, no phone purchased, and outright.
Okay. One account mobile number is removed.
Transaction ID is not mandatory.
Right.
And the short form for EIP. Just EIP. EIP, no purchase, and the
Yeah, and removing like the warranty exchange order. And we're gonna move the messaging into the other.
So we are removing warranty exchange, right?
Yes. And changing, new line phone number to say just mobile number. Yeah.
What will change is phone purchase drop down. You just want EIP,
Yep.
outright, and no purchase.
Right.
Remove warranty messaging.
Yeah, messaging will just be in the other, and I'll update the SAC code list, so that'll just be in there. I'll just update it so messaging will be part of other.
Okay.
So for prepaid, so for this one, the drop down the SAC code list We're going to have it just say the description, not the actual SAC codes on there.
Okay.
Line phone number, just change it to mobile number. We're just going to have checkboxes for everything. No drop down for the
Checkboxes.
Tether, PHP, and international. No drop down for data. No drop down for international feature SAC code. No messaging. No other. All those can be removed.
Only 3
Yes.
checkboxes.
Yep.
SAC code will be replaced by SAC code description.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So for data feature, we don't need credit class.
Okay.
And then the EAP only populates if we choose the jump. That's the only time that would apply. And this would apply, which we already talked about, having that whole scenario. But this is the only time these two apply is for jump PHP. Everything else, it does not apply. So if someone's adding just a data, they wouldn't need these two.
So that is EIP and warranty exchange number.
Yes. And just change line phone number to mobile number. So for upgrade, we can take out credit class, mobile port number, port company, temporary number. Have this auto-populate with saying upgrade, like we wouldn't have to.
Mobile port we don't need.
Yep. Credit class, mobile number port, port company, and temporary number.
Okay. The rest all are the same, right? Phone purchase, EIP, warranty.
Yeah, phone purchase, that's right. EIP number, yes. Warranty exchange number, no.
So warranty exchange number has to be removed.
Yes.
Okay.
Third class mobile port will also go right. Mobile port.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now jump already on account.
We need that.
Okay. Rest all will remain the same.
Yep. And just move the messaging into the other. Everything else is good. And just have this auto-populate saying upgrade. So if they choose upgrade, there's just one in there anyways.
Now in this upgrade, how is the, let's say, jump already on account? If we are checking that one, we don't add any jump feature.
Right. And you're going to exclude that upgrade from the calculation for jump attachment.
So if it is already there on account, we are not paid anything.
No.
Do an upgrade. Only the phone space.
Only the upgrade, the 1 times the MRC for the upgrade.
There's only phone space.
There's no phone spiff for upgrades. That's just the revenue calculation. So it's just the base commission. There's no phone spiff.
Upgrade. Because in upgrade we have a phone purchase, right?
Yes, but
So-
that's nothing to do with the phone spiff.
Okay. When is Comm&Spiffs paid?
For activations and for
Only
and for features that are added at point of activation. This is only basically good to tell you. It's always going to be a phone purchase.
Okay.
Upgrade means they're buying a phone.
Okay.
The only thing with this is telling us whether or not they have EIP, because devices with EIP, those are the ones that are eligible for jump. So if they do not have jump on the account, they're doing an upgrade and they're doing an upgrade with EIP, that means that this is an eligible transaction to go into that attachment calculation for jump. So if they do this, select EIP, say they don't say that jump's already on account, and they don't add jump, it'll count against them.
No, I have a question. It's not clear for me. I'm an existing customer. I already have jump. So when I'm taking a new device in EIP,
Yep.
will the existing jump be applicable, or
No.
do I need to take a new one?
Nope. It's an existing feature, which is not it wouldn't be commissionable for us. They already paid
Not
us.
commissionable, but it applies, right?
What do you mean applies?
Jump is an insurance, right?
Right.
So since I'm already paying for the insurance,
Yeah, you still have it as a customer.
yeah.
Yeah, nothing's going to change for you. You already have the feature.
The moment they check jump already on account, it is excluded from our calculation.
Exactly.
Revenue
Just
calculation.
not for the revenue calculation, but from the attachment calculation. So we measured the attachment of all of the eligible transactions for jump, saying, because our goal is right now, I think it's 85%. So our goal is to be 85% for all the eligible transactions, which means transactions that have EIP.
Okay.
So-
Now let's say I already have jump on account.
Right.
But I'm buying phone with EIP.
Yep.
So if the rep is convincing the customer to remove the previous jump and add it again,
They cannot.
make it commissionable.
It's not commissionable. And the customer would never be like, what? That doesn't even make sense to me. That's something that they would never say to the customer. They might try to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they say you have an insurance already, but we have a new plan that which will be maybe giving more advantage, or a very good plan than the one which is already on the account. Customer is always changing his mind based on what we tell him.
Yeah. And they couldn't say that just because jump is jump. It's the same. You know what I mean? So,
Do we need that other checkboxes also? Design, PHP, and so
yes, because they can add jump.
on.
If they do an upgrade and they don't have jump and they're adding it, then you'd be doing that.
But if there is already there, then they will be able to check only one of the jump.
Right. So if they say jump's already on account, they cannot say, I'm going to add it too. So this just helps their attachment calculation.
Messaging to remove. You don't need this warranty exchange.
Right. We don't need this.
Okay. Jump already on account.
If they add the jump, they didn't have jump, they added it fresh. So, will the revenue calculation for jump will be after activation?
Jump's just $20
Sorry.
at any time. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Now you said jump already on account. It will not be included in the revenue calculation, and you also said that attachment is calculated. What is that?
So
So
me show
any
you.
upgrade, any device in EIP, you will always try to attach a jump.
yeah, which the jump calculation attachment is the number of jump features added to eligible jump
Okay.
accounts divided by the number of jump eligible transactions. Activations of upgrades.
So it will be when jump is already on account means remove from revenue
It removes
calculation
it.
and remove from.
It moves from that bottom. So the number of jump transactions, it'll be removed from that. So it'll raise their, it's going to keep their percentage high. So you can see here, they have a jump attachment goal right here, which is one of our big metrics. So the goal is 85%.
Okay.
3 gig attachment. This is also one of our big metrics.
So what do you call that? Now, jump features by number of jump eligible transactions.
Right, and it's jump features added to jump. It's not just all the jump features, but it has to be something added with.
Added to?
Yep, the eligible jump transaction. So these are the ones attached to, jump eligible transactions.
Jump eligible transactions and how many we have added. So the difference. Okay, so
that's the calculation. Certain things are excluded from that, which I don't know if you want to get into this right now. But do you want to get into talking about the attachment?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is how this works.
Now we'll try to get the
Perfect. So the jump eligible transactions, so it's going to be all postpaid activations. So add-a-lines, B2B, postpaid 1 and 2, and upgrades that have EIP. So the ones that are selecting.
Postpaid 1 and 2, add-a-line, B2B.
Yep.
And
upgrades that have EIP. So those are the ones that select EIP from the phone purchase.
So all these 4 categories with EIP are considered number of jump eligible transactions.
Right. Things that are excluded from that are mobile internet that do not have tablets.
Okay.
Because the only mobile internet devices that are approved to get jump are tablets. So any mobile internet device that does not have a tablet is excluded.
Exclude mobile internet, which is not a tablet.
Right. They're also excluding any activation or upgrade that is done with a phone first device, which that's all determined by that IMEI. So if it's a phone first, like your basic flip phone, yes, exactly.
Exclude, which is a phone first device.
Right. This is for this metric that we're talking about for jump.
Based on jump transactions, they have a matrix which is going into the sales leaderboard. So how they are calculating is all the postpaid 1 and 2 add-a-line, B2B and upgrades. Of these 4 categories, if the customer is buying a phone with EIP, they are considering that is a jump eligible transaction. And they are seeing how many they are selling. Since let's say you have 100 transactions for these 4 categories, and if you are selling only 80, and the other 20 you are not able to convince the customer, then those are the fallouts, 20%. So 80% you made it, and you lost 20%.
Number of transaction, number of eligible transaction minus number of jump transactions. Sorry, divided by jump.
Right.
And then the other thing that's being excluded are upgrades that have the checkbox selected. So any upgrades that have the jump already on account, those are all the things that are going to be excluded from that.
Jump already on account.
Okay. Do you want to talk about this too? 3 gig attachment?
We discussed about that is a $15 revenue, right?
No, this is just like that jump attachment. This is measuring attachment for 3 gig.
Revenue space. Okay.
This is just for revenue. This is another metric for the leaderboard. This is 3 gig plus attachment. It's the same kind of calculation like jump. It's the 3 gig and up features that are added to eligible transactions divided by the eligible transaction. Right. It's only going to be add-a-line, B2B, postpaid lines 1 and 2, no upgrades, no prepaid.
So only those two, or only those three.
Right.
And mobile internet?
Mobile internet, so these are the things that are excluded. Mobile internet is excluded. Simple choice, no credit, those NCNC are excluded. And so is this one plan code. There's this one plan code that's called a simple starter plan. And that plan code's excluded as well because it's.
Simple starter plan.
Yep.
Now that goes into a separate group because we have this exception. SCNC, mobile internet, prepaid,
Yep.
and upgrade.
And it also so there's also these rate plans that are data only. They're not mobile internet. They're like for hearing impaired people. So it's like literally like you can use your regular like an iPhone. You don't have to use a mobile internet device, but it's basically a data only plan. Those are also excluded. They're all listed in the SOC code list. Exclude from 3 gig attachment. So I don't know if we put something in like, the master rate plan area where I'll be adding future ones to have something like, so we have things to flag things as mobile internet, but there's also non-mobile internet, but it's kind of like mobile internet. They're basically for, deaf people. So, but they need to be, because you can't add data to them because they're data only plans. So that's why they're excluded from,
What's the formula for it?
It's just like jump. So it's going to be number of 3 gig and up data features that are added to an eligible activation divided by the number of eligible transactions.
Okay.
All right. Accessories fine. Yeah. Accessories is like the easiest one.
Mobile number.
Yeah, it says and it has mobile number there.
Accessories, SKU, MRP, quantity, discount percentage.
Yep.
Discount percentage, you want a flat discount? Or?
Maybe we change this to say 5% instead of 5.0.
Okay.
So like 10%. Yeah. I think Dawn said she wants it all the way up to 50.
Right, we got it 10%. Okay. Now, revenue generated. You didn't enter the information and check whether it is calculating right or wrong, right?
No, because it was giving me some error messages.
Okay.
So
once this is updated, we'll give the system again with all these changes updated.
And we'll also be able to have Josh start.
Right.
He'll be back next week, so he can enter stuff too. Yeah.
Error is like it's not working at all. Exception means you're given a message.
Okay.
And if you read that, it means that you haven't defined the formula for it. Okay.
Yep.
So we confuse the meaning. That is not an error message. That is the pop-up which we are going to use for interact with the system
Right.
efficiently, we don't understand.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then this, like, I'll show you the screen.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know what an error message is. Don't you worry. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying I couldn't complete it. Yeah, I've seen many. So.
Yeah, we will not complain right now, man. We'll complain later.
Yeah.
Okay, next. We are done with all
Yeah.
the changes.
Yep.
Now,
And once we get those updated, I think we'll be able to.
right.
And you're gonna add all the stock codes in now?
Yes.
Or okay.
When we are giving, when I tell you the system is ready by Monday or Tuesday, you will have
Cool.
all the circuits in
That'll be good, and then we can make sure we can actually do like a legit transaction.
Mhm.
That'll be good.
And even we'll create a set of users. I'll give you the login credential as users. Sales rep, 2 sales rep, 1 RSM.
Yeah, because I have a question. So, let's say a manager logs in.
Mhm.
Will they have a drop down here showing like all the people at their store? Okay. So it'll default to show their name, but they can, if they're adding a sale
In
in.
the master level, they don't have to come to this form. We have dealer master also. Like menus. If you see in the left, you can see
You see the
the store people won't be able to see everything. They
Right.
will just see the DSR process.
Yes.
But the admin will be seeing everything. Like
she is talking. In store, you have different employees. RSA, sales team lead, RSM, market manager, and then director of sales. So each hierarchy, they should be able to see everybody below them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like a tree structure.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the reason we got the base in that structure.
We can design it. I mean, in the HR we have that.
You just give the menu based on the level they are. You give the below tree access to them.
Yep. Because that's how it is now. So like.
Tree structure where they can see it at the hierarchy level, like top one, down,
Right.
we'll give you a design something.
Perfect. Because, like, let's say the manager's entering in something for one of their employees. They're going to want to enter it in under the employee's name, not under their name. So the employee gets paid for it. Do you know what I mean?
You're a store manager
Yeah, I understand.
and you want to give credit to Ankit, Shreyas, or Krishna. You just add it on their name.
So for them, for the users, store users, the ground level users, it will be read only.
Yes. It'll just be them.
Managers, they should be able to
Yeah.
see the dealer codes of their own store.
Exactly. With the name. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about commissions?
Right.
That's gonna be crazy.
Oh, commissions and space.
Yes.
If we are
We need another 4 hours.
He'll not sleep during this weekend.
Oh my
He can
God.
work on it. Monday we'll be ready with that.
Yeah.
Yesterday I went through like before sleep, I went through that PowerPoint presentation.
Oh.
I had a list of questions.
Do you want to print them out so we can like go through each one, like one by one? Do you want to print them out or do you have them? Okay.
We will have it on the screen.
Okay. All right, cool.
So,
I know. Yeah. You're like, what does this mean?
okay, I'm closing this
Yes.
one. We're done with this, right?
Yep.
You still need this.
Yeah, leave that guy.
Soft on that.
What's that?
Let's go soft on
Yeah, I know. I told you this is gonna be. We won't be able to probably get through all of these, but at least we'll go through like the sales rep. So and like, because there's weird.
Commissions is one. Okay, this is the updated spiff that Don sent me on
Okay.
7/24. But commissions, it is the same which I received on 6/5.
Yes.
Okay. Now, yes, you can start on the commissions.
Okay.
Now, first, what is commissionable and what is not? And yeah, we'll start from there. Actually, I have one more.
What is commissionable is everything that they're entering in the system.
Okay. Anything and everything they are entering into the system.
It all goes into. So this is how people get paid. Is based on revenue, right? So everything that they enter in, yes, is going to be based on revenue. So if we pull up a sales rep, right, so this is an example of a sales associate, okay?
Okay.
So this, we'll just go through top down. So their base commission, this is this portion. So they get 10% of their revenue that they're
Do you
generated.
have this revenue formula with formulas, Excel sheets?
Of course not, but I can make something.
Okay. While we are going through, I'll do one thing.
Yep.
Sales associate.
Yes. Retail, RSA, retail sales associate.
Do you want me to paste it in there for you?
It's
You kinda
not
did.
coming.
Yeah, I see. Sometimes it's weird. Okay. Sometimes,
maybe
sometimes,
capital
sometimes
HTML.
this works, sometimes it doesn't. Why are you not working?
Wait a minute. I think I got
There we
this.
go.
So this is for the RSA.
Yes.
Okay. Going to that, you don't see any formulas. Okay.
Right.
So while we go
Here we can
through
do-
them, can we get the
Yep.
formulas in place?
So this total revenue right here. So this is, they get paid 10% of the revenue. This
Okay.
is the net revenue, which means everything that they did for the current month. So this is June. So it would be everything they did for June minus any and all chargebacks that came through for the month of June. So things that they did in March that may have canceled in June, that's all comes out of this.
Okay.
So this is net revenue.
Okay.
So that is, so that's all the chargebacks that came through. Okay, so that's what that total revenue is.
Okay.
That's why that's different than their actual revenue down here. So, and then this this payout it's 10% of that. So I don't know if you need to, it says it right there, but I don't know if you need to, anything else. And the next part, that's pretty easy.
So this base commission is straight 10% of the revenue payout.
And that's everything they did, accessories, upgrades, activations, prepaid, features, everything flows into that bucket.
Okay.
And that's all their June act stuff, plus, there's DX,
Right.
everything, it's plus, minus, whatever,
Okay.
all that stuff. And any like non-commissionable things, like, I was showing you those non-commissionable items, that comes out too.
exclude them.
Yeah. Yep. So this is they're always going to get paid this, regardless of if they hit their goals or anything like that. This is always like their base commission amount.
Okay.
Now it moves into the kicker stuff. So the kicker commissions are all based on goals.
So it's 10% of the total revenue, right? The base commission.
Yes, it's 10% of their total revenue, net revenue.
Net revenue.
So for goal calculations, it's always based on the gross revenue, which is gross revenue 20% is the gross activity for the current month minus any same month DX, which are DX for the current month. So that means someone that activated in June but canceled in June. Those would be taken out of that, your gross amount.
Okay.
And that's what goes into that
So
actual.
let's say if we are getting June DX in July, and those will not have impact on this.
Exactly. They would impact this,
Yeah.
but not this.
Right.
This is only July.
For that
Yeah, exactly. For
particular
that
month.
particular month. So this is June. It'd be only June stuff. So June DX, June X. That's it. So we're basically using this to determine if they hit their goal or not.
Okay.
So this one, he hit 111%.
Okay.
Now, if they hit this, they get 2% of their revenue. And it's 2% of this revenue amount. So this is going to be 2% of this.
Okay, we have 2% of revenue.
Right. And so this payout is so that's how it is for all of these things. Payouts always going to be based on the total revenue, which is this guy. So that's why I was saying, it's kind of both.
Okay. And box goal.
Box goal, each rep has their own box goal, which how these goals are calculated. We assign a goal for the store, and then based on whether it's full-time or part-time, that's how the individual sales rep goals get calculated.
So
That's the whole 0.8. A part-time person is considered 0.8.
Okay. So which one do you think we have to go through first, the goals or commissions, and we'll come back revisit the goals later?
Yeah, we can do that because, yeah. Yes. So it's 2% if they do hit, and that's 2% of this. So we use the gross revenue to determine if they hit their goal, and their payout is based on their net revenue.
If they hit the goal, 2% will be in the top.
Yes. All these payouts are based on that total revenue.
Only for the goals hitting, we are not considering the others net thing.
What's that?
Considering the gross activity only for the goals.
Yes, for goals to determine if they hit their goal, you look at the gross, but the payout amount is always that.
Absolutely constant for everyone.
Right. Yep.
So you have the formula 164.43. This is 1% again.
Mm-hmm. That's this one, same deal. That 74 actual is their gross box count. So it's going to be, gross activations and upgrades for June minus any, same month DX for June. That's going to be their gross.
Box goal attainment is set by Don or the store manager.
It's done by the system. So we assign the store goal, and then the system's going to calculate revenue and box goal. But based on
employment status.
Yes, exactly.
now if you're saying are these the activations, right? 70.
Yes, that's their goal is 70, and then their actual is 74. Now what goes into the boxes? That's going to be all the postpaid. So postpaid 1 and 2, add a line, B2B, upgrades, and prepaid.
Oh, okay. So this calculation will be passed only if this is 100%.
Exactly. That's how we look at, to determine if they hit their goal, we use the gross activity. But their payout is based on their net.
So this percentage of goal should be always 100 if you want to see numbers here.
Exactly. In order to get paid, you got to hit 100%. If you hit 99.99%, that is not 100%. You got to hit 100%.
Okay.
Only for the sales rep, right?
Yeah, right now we are going
Yeah.
through the sales rep
Yep.
commissions.
Then there's the store revenue goal attainment, and that's 1% again of their total revenue, which is the net. It's just very simple. It's just based on here's the store goal, here's the store revenue, what they attained at the store level. Obviously, they didn't get paid because the store hit 87% to goal.
Similar to revenue goal attainment for that individually also.
Say that again, I'm
The
sorry.
calculation will match with the revenue goal.
Right, but that is 2% and this is 1%.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So those are the kickers. The next part is this elite bonus. And that's where it gets kind of screwy because right now, this leaderboard, I have to calculate it manually. Because the leaderboard's a manual report, it's not in the system.
Okay.
But we would like that to not be manual. So for this, what this means is, so based on the leaderboard, it ranks everybody by market and market as a whole. So you know how Chicago is 3 markets? What it does is it takes Chicago as a whole, Chicago, total, and it ranks everyone based on their leaderboard results. And the top 10% of those Chicago employees are the ones that would end up on this list and get paid that bonus.
Okay.
So it's all based on the top 10% of their market and it's as a whole. So, St. Louis has 4 sub-markets. It's based on St. Louis as a whole. Some markets are just one, like Arizona's just one, Colorado's just one.
10% of market.
See, now we have markets, we have stores. Stores belong to a certain market, and markets belong to a region, right? So in that hierarchy for the markets, the market manager, if he is having 10 stores underneath, 10% of the top performers,
10% of the top performers.
right? If he is among the first 10 people, then he will get 2% of money. Am I correct?
I'll show you so this is the leaderboard right here. And when you look at the leaderboard here, this is everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I have to do to get everyone's results. So like, let's say we're looking at Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all the sales reps for Arizona, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have 47.
Mm-hmm.
So we would take the top 5 people.
Okay.
And these are the people getting the bonus.
Okay. They get 2% added to their pay.
Yep.
Commissions.
Does that make sense?
Top 5 people means we say 10%.
10%. Yeah, they have of the employees in that market. So this is for Arizona. They have 47. We round up, obviously, and we get 5. And then, like for like Chicago. Chicago has Central, North, and South. We would look at Chicago as a whole. Say, okay, they have 180. It'd be the top 18. Grab all those 18 people. And they would get 2% of the revenue, which is you know, the net revenue, that total revenue amount up there. So that's what that sales leaderboard top 10% of market one is. And the other one is based on the revenue that they generate. So basically it takes all the sales reps in the entire company, and it's going to look at just the amount of revenue that they generated, and the top 10% of those people, that's who gets that bonus. So one's based on the leaderboard, one's based on just the revenue that they generate.
It's also 2%.
Yep, 2%.
Okay.
So this one's market and leaderboard, this one's revenue and total company, which just gives, you know, opportunities for like, because the leaderboard calculation isn't just for the people that are doing a ton of revenue. It's for like, you have to hit all these metrics and all sorts of stuff goes into the calculation for the leaderboard. So that gives the opportunity for like someone that is not a huge revenue generator to get this bonus. So that's why they split it up into two. There's some people that get both, but a lot of people are like either getting this one or that one.
Okay.
This has changed since this has come out. This was June. I think we have changes in July.
Okay, monthly spiff. The monthly spiff that we are seeing here.
It's for June.
So we finish the commission part and we are going on to the spiff of RSA.
Yes. Which is all, for all intents and purposes, it's all the same thing. It's all in the same document. You know what I mean? It's not like we treat it separately. I think they're still working on the commission ones. So the next part is the monthly spiffs, and that's the, you know, it's always been like the bottom part of the
So this
commission.
is we finish the commissions and we are going to
Yep.
spiff.
Yep.
Okay.
So in here, so the first part, spiff, is based on prepaid goal.
Prepaid.
Is this up to date? I'll make sure. I know they're still working on July commissions, so I don't know if everything's correct. No, it's not. I'll take it from here.
It's not updated.
Nope. This is another reason why. Okay. These are all the old ones. Okay. So this is the current. So it still is the same thing, prepaid goal, which is assigned by Dawn by store, and then it gets, you know, broken up by employee. just like the other goals are calculated.
So this is what 100%
Yep, same
plus
thing.
prepaid to goal.
Yep, they have to hit 100% prepaid to goal, and they would get a $5 spiff for every prepaid that they did. So that if they had hit 7, their goal is 7. So if they hit 7, they would get an additional $5 per
7
spiff.
into 7, so 5 into 7, $35 will be benefit. If
Right.
this is 100%.
Exactly.
So this is the dollar amount? Oh, okay, only here it is dollar.
Yeah, they're kind of like varied.
100% prepaid to goal.
Anytime there's like a goal, you got to hit that goal.
Okay.
So like this one is the jump attachment. So if, you know, the goal for jump is 85%, he was at 100%, which means he would get $1.50 spiff per jump that he did, which he had 20. And that's that.
$85 plus attachment.
And just so you know too, so like all these spiffs that get paid out, if like one of these jumps cancel 2 months later, they're going to get charged back for the spiff plus any, you know, they get charged back for all the stuff, you know. And then the next part is the 3 gig data attachment. So the goal is 85%. And it's broken out into 2 chunks. So the first part is there's unlimited and then 3 gig and up. So like if you look at all the data, there's like 3 gig, 4 gig, 6 gig,
Right.
all the way up to unlimited. So unlimited is treated as separate. So unlimited, you get $3 for every unlimited feature sold. He sold 0. And then for all the other ones, which is 3 gig and up, yeah, 3 gig all the way up to unlimited.
Data, right?
Yes, for data.
Unlimited data, it will be $3.
And for everything else, it's $2.
Okay.
So the next is the spiffs for mobile internet. So they have it broken up into 3 parts. So there's mobile internet 1 gigabyte, mobile internet 3 gigabyte, and mobile internet 5 gig and up. And they have to be sold with a mobile internet device. So some people will activate a mobile internet with an iPhone. You shouldn't be doing that. It should be activated on a mobile internet device. So we're only paying the spiff if the TAC code matches up to a mobile internet device. So it's all based on what the IMEI that they enter in. And that's why we want to make sure they can't enter duplicates. So if you activate a mobile internet with an iPhone and you know you can't enter that iPhone IMEI because you won't get the spiff, and you just keep a hold of like, you know, an iPad IMEI, you enter that same IMEI over and over again just so you get the spiff on your mobile internets, well, we want to make sure they can't do that.
Okay. Now this one, mobile internet 1 GB.
Yep.
Sold with tablet or
Right.
$3 for each one.
Yes.
10 here. Mobile internet
3 gig. Yep.
So it's 1 GB
Yep.
plus tablet.
Has to be a mobile internet
What
device.
is that PUCK?
It's a hotspot.
Hotspot.
Yeah. So it's basically a mobile, you have to sell it with a mobile internet device.
Okay. Oh, hotspot device.
Mm-hmm.
Explain about the jump attachment in Office.
Yes. So jump is, so remember that the attachment thing we were going over? So like the count of jump features added to an eligible transaction divided by the jump eligible transactions. That's that calculation that goes into that. So the goal is 85%. So as long as you were 85%, you'd get paid $1.50 for every jump feature that you sold in that month.
Earlier you are not paid because you attend only 80%. You should reach 85 to be paid.
Okay. And it's $1.5 flat
Per
per
jump sold, yeah. And if someone cancels, that spiff would be charged back to the employee too. So like, let's say you added a jump in July, you're getting paid for it, you're getting paid that spiff, $1.50, and they cancel that jump feature 2 months later. So in September they remove it, and your September commissions, you're going to see a charge back for all that stuff.
Okay. It's like after reaching the revenue goal and the goal for the jump attachment, the ratio, only after that we are paid $1.5
Yes,
per jump attachment.
right.
Of course, if cancelled, then it will be charged.
Exactly. Yep. Then they have a store conversion goal, which this is
Is that the app conversion? Or that is different?
that's different. It's close though. So let's see. So you see these total box traffic conversion, that metric here. So this metric is calculated by the count of total boxes, which I don't think they have any. Oh, they have one. Oh, well, here, let's actually pull up yesterday's. No traffic is probably what we did today. So you can see, so this store, this is their total box traffic conversion for yesterday, 7.2. And the calculation for that is the total boxes divided by the traffic, which is imported by ShopperTrack every day.
Wow. I want to know, I'm not clear about the box.
Box is, so, and for this is going to be gross. This is always gross activity, minus any same month EX. So gross, it's always be your current month activity. So for the month of, like, let's say we ran this for the whole month of August, it's going to be August, all of your activations, so postpaid 1 and 2, add-a-lines, B2B, prepaid, upgrades, those all flow into the total box category.
Okay.
Minus any same month EX. So let's say you activated someone, 3 days later they cancel. That is also going to be taken out of that equation. So it'll be plus all of the, postpaid 1 and 2, add-a-lines, B2B, upgrades, prepaid, minus any, deactivations that are current month. So it's basically current month transactions only.
And accessories too?
Nope, just boxes. So just phones sales.
So any of these sales?
Yes. Minus any same month DX. So anytime a customer activates August 1st, they cancel August 3rd, that'll be taken out of the equation.
So sales are X minus BX or chargebacks?
Yep,
In the
done
same
by this
month.
for the same month, yeah.
So that is considered as one box.
One of those, yes.
So each one is considered one box.
Yep, every time you do an activation.
Okay, so this store has performed only 7 activations?
Nope. So this is for yesterday. This is the conversion. So this is saying traffic conversion, saying,
Oh,
okay,
based on the traffic
right. So it's saying, okay, you had 125 clicks
Okay.
and you converted at
Only-
7.20%.
Okay, so so they sold 9 boxes yesterday.
Yes. Yep.
So 9 transactions.
Yep. So they would calculate this. This is the total box conversion, which is total boxes divided by traffic.
So each one is considered a box, right?
Yes. Every time you sell, boom, box, box, box.
Okay. Let's say in this set, each transaction performed is considered as a box.
Yes.
Okay. So we are seeing the total box conversion, right?
Yep. And we measured this at the store level because we can't break it down to an employee. So
total boxes by traffic.
yes. So that's one of the spiffs. So for an employee, their store conversion, the goal is 7%. Some of them vary based on if it's a training store, if it's a inline mall store,
Right.
they have different conversion goals. But
Based on the type of store.
yeah, exactly.
Mall, store,
Yep.
kiosk.
So for them,
So this one is decided by Don, percentage.
yeah. So basically, and they don't really change that often, but yeah, it's going to be all determined based on what kind of store they are.
7%.
I think that's just the regular.
So let's say if the store conversion is 7 plus
Yep. They would get 1%.
of revenue.
Yes.
Of the store revenue.
Of no. Of
the
of
total revenue.
yeah, of their total revenue. Yes, all based on their store, on their own, performance.
So 1% of total revenue.
Yes.
Okay.
And the last one is APK, which is the accessories per kit.
How are we determining the kit?
That means box, basically. I know. Box and kit, they're the same thing.
Box is transaction.
Yes.
So each time I'm selling a charger, that is considered a box.
No. Accessories per box. So out of those postpaid lines 1 and 2, add-a lines, B2B,
So
upgrade, prepaid, those are all boxes.
So if I'm selling accessory with those transactions,
Yes.
then you consider it to be a box.
That's considered to be, so it's basically the goal is to be, you're selling a $30 accessory for every box that you have. That's what they're measuring. So to measure that metric, how you calculate it, it's going to be the sale price of the accessory divided by the number of boxes. So it's going to add up all the sale price of all the accessories you sold. So even if you sold like $60 worth of accessories to one customer but 0 to another, it's still going to even out to be $30. You want to be on average $30 for every box that you sell. You want to have the same equivalent to $30
Let's
in
say I
accessories.
don't sell any accessories to the one when I'm selling the box,
Yep.
but later I sell only the accessories to an individual customer
Yeah.
without the box.
It's still will count.
It will count.
Exactly, because the calculation is the sum of all accessory sale price divided by boxes. So that's the calculation.
Sum of?
Yep. So it's the accessory sale price, not revenue. Like people get confused too. Like it's just it's the sale price. So $30, $20, $10, whatever you sold the accessory for, that's what it's gonna be based on.
Sale price by?
Boxes.
Number of boxes.
Yep.
So let's say I sell $100 and I sold 5 boxes. So $20 per box.
Yep.
I haven't reached my goal.
You have not reached your goal. You're not
So
getting
it should be $30 per box. Then how much revenue will be added?
Now with this one, you have to also hit 100% of your box goal.
Okay.
Now if you do that, you get a $100 spiff. It's just a flat $100.
So accessories per kit is equal to sum of all accessories sales price plus
Yep.
number of boxes
Yep.
plus must hit 100% box goal.
Right. And this here includes any discounts too. So if you sold a $30 accessory, but you took a $10 discount on it, that sale price is going to be 20, not 30.
So whatever sales price.
Yes.
Average, you should be able to sell $30 accessory per box.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Yes. Which it can average, basically you want your average to end up being like that. Because like, you may have somebody that you sell $100 in accessories to and someone you don't sell any accessories to. So it should average out to $30. That's the goal.
First the box goal attainment and then this goal and then you get the goal.
Yep.
So this is both commissions and spiffs.
Yes.
Okay. Sales team lead. Are we done with our sheet?
Yeah, that's it.
Sales team lead.
Let's do it. Okay, so this team lead position, it's kind of like a hybrid between a manager and a sales rep.
Okay.
So you can see you'll see some components from sales associate and some from, a manager level. So for this, the first part, you're going to see same thing like a sales rep. The total revenue, same thing. Net revenue, this is their gross minus any and all chargebacks that came through for that month. And the payout's going to be, 10% of that.
Okay. Next one.
Now the next one, This is where it gets into the hybrid of with a manager. So this is the they get $1 per box sold of the store.
Of the store.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is based on the store's total boxes sold.
Now again, referring to the box, any transaction performed on those 4 items.
Right. Now this is also net.
Okay.
So the total boxes are going to be net boxes. So minus, this means minus
Same
any,
ones,
yeah,
same ones X
right.
minus
Yep.
same
For
ones
any
X.
and all, DX that come through.
Okay. Only for the same month or
All.
okay, all.
Yep.
Total boxes is equal to net boxes.
And with this one, this also has like a contingency on it. So they also have to hit, the store has to hit 85% of the box goal in order for them to get this payout.
So this must hit 85% of box score.
Yep.
85% of store box score.
Yes.
Okay. Can you please change it here?
Yeah, this whole component is store.
Okay. Okay.
Next, we go into the kickers, which are similar to a sales associate. So,
One moment.
yes.
Total boxes is paid $1 per box sold.
Yep.
85% is the store box.
Yes.
So $1 per box. Next.
Now we move into the kicker commissions. So this is based on their personal goal.
Okay.
So their revenue goal, this is going to be their gross revenue minus any same month DX. If they hit 100% of that, they get 1% of their total revenue. So it's the same thing like this. The goal is based on.
Yeah, individuals.
Yes. Yep. Then they also have a store revenue goal attainment, and this is 2% of their own revenue. So then these are based on store performance. So if the store is in the top 10% of their market, they would get $100. That's based on the leaderboard. So same thing. It's always going to be the leaderboard based and then the company based. So this one is leaderboard, top 10% of market. And then,
Mall in line location.
yep. So, and it's always based on that store type. So We have the mall inline, like that's why we need that flag for the stores. So there's mall inline and kiosk and regular store, and we need training store. So there's basically the different kinds that we need to flag are training store, mall inline, and kiosk.
Okay.
Because for the leaderboard, we exclude.
Now the first one is regular store.
Yes.
This is mall inline store, mall kiosk, and the fourth one is
That's it.
training store.
The training store, but that does not affect that leaderboard calculation. So if you look at the leaderboard, you see that there's store, mall inline, and kiosk that are all ranked separately.
Okay.
Training stores are just included in there.
Stores.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. But they have different goals. That's why we have to flag them separately.
Okay. And going forward in the new system, can we add even that part?
Which one?
Training stores?
Yeah, we have to. Yeah. Just for the leaderboard, portion of it, there's nothing different for training stores.
Okay.
But yeah, we definitely need to flag those separately because they have different goals.
So now top, what is the goal for this?
So this is the top 10% of the market. So if you go here, it would be the same thing that we did with the sales reps, which is, so we take Arizona and it'd be the top 10%. Out of 9 stores, it'd be this guy right at the top. And would be, this is how it is for manager level too. So it's the top 10% of the market. Here's the manager, and then he would also have a sales team lead at his store, and he would get it if he had a sales team lead. So it's always this elite bonus is always based on the store performance. So that's why it would be anybody that's associated with it. So Chad Johnson's the manager. If there was a manager in development, that MID role, or the sales team lead, those would all be folks that would get that elite bonus payout.
So everybody will get individually 10% of that store.
Not 10%. They have to be in the top 10% in their market.
Right. If they, let's say in the market, they are in the top 10%. That store is in top 10%.
Yes. Then
So
then the manager and any other applicable people. So some stores don't have a team lead. Some stores don't have an MID. It would be those are the people that would get it.
Okay.
Based on anybody that's associated with Fountain Plaza. So the manager is Chad Johnson. He does not have an MID. I think he has a team lead.
Okay.
But
so they will share the same revenue, or based on the individual goal?
They get a flat dollar amount payout. So like the team lead would get $100. The MID I think gets $125. The manager gets $250.
So one of these 3 conditions should satisfy to have $100.
Right, and they should be, and the
Right.
role or title should be either STL or MID or RSM.
Store manager at the top.
Yes.
Okay, store performance.
Yep.
10%
Of the market. Yep. And then this is the next one. There's going to be 2 elite bonuses. The first one's based on the leaderboard and based on the top 10% of your market. The next one is top 10% of the company based on the revenue. So it's just like the sales associate one, only this one's based on the store revenue. So your store revenue, if it's in the top 10% of the company, then you would get the $100. And it's the same kind of thing. So if anyone is associated with the store, MID, STL, or the RSM. Next is the Spiffs. So these are also based on store performance. This is total box conversion. So this is the first one. And it's just saying, okay, your store based on their conversion numbers will be in, if you're in one of these 3 buckets, then you'll get an extra kicker.
So if it is 10% conversion, you will get $400.
Yep.
So total box conversion.
Which you have that. It's the total box. It's the
Right,
total box
yeah,
divided by traffic. And based on if you're a training store, mall inline, these goals will change. So if you're a training store, you have a lower, total box conversion goal. Mall inline store have a lower total box conversion goal. Kiosks don't have this. Kiosks have something different, which I'll show you.
So total pursuit conversion, it is $600.
Mm-hmm.
11% conversion. Why is this set at 12% for this guy?
He's at a regular store.
Okay. Oh, okay. So if it is a mall or a kiosk,
You'll see those will be, yeah, it'll be lower. Instead of being, the top tier would be 12%, the top tier would be, I think, 10%.
Okay.
And then they have the jump spiff, which is based on store performance. It's just a flat spiff. So if they hit 85% for the store, then they would get $60.
85% of store goal.
Yeah, if it's 85% or higher for their attachment for the store, then they would get just a flat $60.
So who will, this is the one which Don defines based on the traffic?
No, this is the jump attachment. So the number of eligible jump.
Okay, same calculation.
Yep, same exact calculation. You're gonna see like those metrics happen over and over again. Like the jump, 3 gig data attachment. We're gonna see that because those are the ones that they're focusing on.
85 plus, he will get $60.
Yep. He did not get it. Yep. And this is also based on store. So it's going to be the 3 gig and up data attachment. The goal for that's 85%. They were at 80. So they did not get that either.
Okay. So that is $60.
Mm-hmm. Next is the accessories per kit. Also based on the store performance. So they have to hit $30, Yep, $30 per box for the store. They hit $36.95, so that's why he got that $150 spiff.
Hi, yep.
They're booking 4 hours, you gotta keep to 4 hours. I can't have her behind it on for stuff that we have to do. That's the getting paid side that we need to focus on. So if you guys could please try to keep it to the on time and then just schedule on time, if that would work. I know we have to get this done, but we somehow have to find a balance between both sides.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, all day for her is that, like, I don't even know what kind of help she has to do, so. Michelle will require her to work all weekend. And I don't want that to happen, you know what I mean? So if we could find some way to, and when we book time, it's perfect, but when it gets, I didn't realize you were still in here. Otherwise, I would come and drag you. So, Okay, it's almost street like, at least let her be out here for a little bit so she can
Yeah.
open some stuff. Okay.
We'll just finish. There are 2 more items in this sheet. Once we are done, we'll close it off.
We've gone through a lot of stuff, so that's good.
Thank you guys, I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you, Dan.
Seeing where you put stuff in my resources and replace by some other project. Like so, I can understand.
I know. I've got 1,000 angry employees who want to get paid. Oh, they're not angry. All right, so this is actually.
This MI 1% commission.
So this, so you know how there's the total box conversion?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the conversion of mobile internet. So it's the same sort of calculation. It's going to be the count of, mobile internet
Okay.
activations divided by the traffic.
What is PUCD?
It's a hotspot?
Hotspot small device. You remember when we went to Gratiot store? He gave us to connect to the hotspot. Yeah, that device is known as PUCK. Okay. So mobile internet conversion 1%
Yep,
with tablet or PUCK.
right. And they are at 0%, so they got no.
So one of these two.
So this is what it is. They have to sell
Okay.
a tablet or puck to hit.
Mobile internet conversion with
Right.
tablet or PUCK should.
So it has to be all of your mobile internet activations that are done that have a mobile internet device. So based on that TAC code,
Mhm.
that's how. So that would be the count of those divided by your traffic,
Okay.
and that would be the mobile internet conversion.
Okay. That should be 1%, which will give $150. Okay.
And the last one is the store prepaid goal, which that's again based on the store performance.
Okay.
And pretty straightforward. If you hit your goal, 100% or more, you get $150.
This has nothing to do with their salaries. This is only commissions.
These people make a lot of money. Yeah. Yep.
One thing we realize is before setting up the conversion, you need to set the
Goals.
baseline goals.
Yeah.
Which is going to change. Yeah. It's going to change every month too.
Now,
So we upload monthly goals every month.
So we need to set up that first
now,
before setting up
yeah. Next time before calling Lindsay, first we'll call Don.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is the second time she says
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It happens and we are bothering you.
It's
a
hard
lot
because I know
we have tight deadline.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, thank you, Lindsay.
No problem. Hopefully you
So-
have lots of fun stuff to work on.
Oh yeah,
You do.
you have a busy weekend.
Yeah, I know. Oh boy. Awesome.
Be good.
Yeah, this is a good start. I told you the commissions are like, that's a big, long thing. But
Thank you, Lindsay.
no problem. Bye, guys.
So you want to take a break or you want to continue discussion?
Can we get Don?
Catches?
First, we need to set now before entering this how they set the goals
Manual.
and what all fields they require to set the goals. Per store, sorry, per employee,
No, per store.
per store.
Based on the shopper track traffic and based on the number of boxes sold, she must
Just
have
a
that.
minute.
Huh?
See the previous month. We need to know exactly what's the revenue. Otherwise, formulas are saying, master and simultaneously you have to work.
Yeah. Cool, sweet. Let's see if we have it in any of the documents we are provided. Daily goals. There you go. Le- Leaderboard. How to use it. Enter each employee's name. Bottom of the workbook cell C3.